Bro, this thing's gonna finish me, bro. Okay. Alright, guys. This is gonna be a bizarre stream. This is just like a chill, let's talk football, just chatting stream. I don't think I've ever done one of these. I didn't stream any of the games, the Champions League games this week because I was sick. But got a lot of things on my mind on football I want to talk about. There's an echo. Is there an echo now? This is also going to be a good time for me to go and figure out what the heck is going on TikTok with all the honestly, the audio on TikTok is kind of whack, bro. But anywho, same here on YouTube. She couldn't handle Newcastle. Barca did. Congratulations. That's like me going and saying Barca couldn't handle Chelsea. PSG did. Like, okay. And even then, like if you want to do that, like PSG drew to Newcastle. Barca got smacked 3-0 to Chelsea. Away from home. PSG smacked Chelsea 3-0 away from home. So, like, levels, bro. But that's not the point here. Let's try to see. I'm going to try to go and see if I can get TikTok to work as normal. Connected. If you're on TikTok, can you try sending a message? I want to see if I can see it. I don't think I can. Let me try to reload it. Slowly but surely got people coming in. Still can't see TikTok. I've been watching. I saw that they're playing, but I'm not watching the game. I'm not watching the game. I'm not a United fan. I don't care. It's Bournemouth. Like, I saw that they're winning 2-1, but I'm not all that fussed. But it's not my biggest concern right now. I need to figure out how I can add the TikTok comments here too. Man, the stream is so much more relaxed and whatnot, because usually I'm like stressing, I'm having to go and watch the game and whatnot, but now, you know, I can take my time. There's no rush. Connection failed. Connection failed. Bro, TikTok is actually a pain, bro. But if you are on YouTube, let me know if you guys can hear me okay. 16 converts, dang. Hey, Junior, how are you? I'm doing good, man. Ça va bien, ça va bien. I'm all right. I'm all right. Okay, stop. Oh, stop. Okay. So clearly you're not going to work with that. Let's go and do... Your sound is good, man. All right. You stream PSG Nice tomorrow? I don't know. People don't typically like... Oh. Yeah. I didn't even start. Okay, I'm going to have to close this again. To try and 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙬 heavily. The thing is, though, on YouTube, if you are on YouTube, I'm streaming at a higher quality. So typically I stream in like 1080p, but also because of YouTube compression, it doesn't come out nearly as good. But today I'm streaming in 1440p. It does mean, though, that the stream is going to be a bit more delayed. So like normally for like games and whatnot, I'll have it on like ultra low latency. This time around, though, it's on like low latency. So the quality is not going to be as high, but it will hypothetically be... Hold on. It will the quality will be better, and also for people who like rewatch the stream afterwards, it'll be better. Comments off. I don't mean comments off. Boy, this TikTok gimmick, bro, it's starting to piss me off, bro. Okay, attends. Je fais ça. Because I need to go and keep you guys there. Thoughts on the Nay hot take slander? We're getting to that. We'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll get onto all that in due time. Guys, we got as much time as we need. I'll answer all your questions. Today I'm actually going to be live streaming because typically I basically just do watch alongs, right? So I'm not really able to interact with you guys. Well, I don't interact with you guys nearly as much as I should be. Quoi encore? Okay. This thing, bro. Attends. Immediately, I want to restart the... Okay, I'm gonna have to restart this, bro. Again. Thing is, I need to be able to see... I'm gonna have to commit. Either I won't be able to see both the TikTok chats. Okay, I'll try this one more time. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to bring your chats up on to my screen, but I will be able to see them. So give me 1 sec. Social stream, let's go, come on. Okay, bon, t'es là. Okay, YouTube, I know you work. No issues with you. It's just fugazi TikTok stuff. Chaser, not working there. Stop. Let's do this. Connect. No. Connect. No. Nine minutes added on for Man U. Yikes. No. Okay. Stop. Local stinger, maybe. Oh, yeah, c'est Trixie. Okay, not you. So you're able to see it. I just don't want to go in. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to flick between. Can somebody on YouTube go and put something in the chat? I want to see if I can still see you guys. And then no. Okay, vas-y. Okay, I can see it. Thank you. All right, okay. Hypothetically, this should work. This has to work. Si ça ne fonctionne pas, je coupe tout. All right, we're going full URL mode. Okay. Your source already exists. Okay, fine. No, don't you. Okay, hold on. Not TikTok, please. Not TikTok auto. All right, you know what? Screw it. Wait. Decline. No. So it's just TikTok being silly. Right, bet then. Bet. No worries. Well, kind of don't want you to do that, but let's do you here. Let's do you here. To make you bigger. Okay. Content size. Oh. Yeah, okay. And this? Okay. All right, listen, we've got something working. All it's going to mean is that if you're on TikTok, unfortunately, I won't be able to bring your comments up, but I will be able to go and join you guys in. So we figured out either the comments, and I can see your comments at the very least, and I can see everybody on YouTube. The other thing is going to be to try to figure out the audio. So this is going to be, if you're on TikTok, is there currently echo for you guys on TikTok? Okay. Now is there echo? No. Okay. Next thing I need to do, because what I need to figure out is if I will be able to play. Let's try to play one of my own videos. Okay. If you're on YouTube, let me know if you can hear this current audio. If you can hear me speak in the background, like I'm not speaking currently. I don't want people on YouTube to have to face the echo issue. Okay. I can hear. Okay, so you guys could hear me. If you were on TikTok, let me know. Could you guys not hear anything? I'm assuming you guys can hear anything. We need to be mindful of the time. No, we're good. We're good. Now it's echoing. It's echoing on YouTube. Hold on. YouTube, is it echoing currently for you guys? It was. No, it's good on YouTube. Also on TikTok. Okay. Okay. And currently there should be, because currently it's just me speaking, so there should be nothing wrong. The problem is if I want to go and start playing audio, so like, I don't know, let me actually go and play a longer video of myself. Let's play this recent. Dang, my
World champion.
Bro, my computer is slow. Holy. What do I have open? No, I don't have anything. Dang.
States.
Okay, I'm gonna go to this.
Get this Fugazi Donald Trump Cup out of my face.
TikTok, I'm assuming you guys cannot hear this.
On aggregate.
But YouTube, you can. Yes, we can. Okay, you can hear me speak now. Is Junior reacting? No, Junior's trying to troubleshoot audio. It's good on YouTube. So hold on. I will not speak. So current Junior, the one that you guys are currently seeing on screen, this is a video of me playing. This is just the post game to Chelsea. Let me know if you're on TikTok, if you guys can hear like this Junior here speaking.
Chelsea's biggest defeat across 2 legs on aggregate in Champions League, in European history, across 2 legs ever. 8 goals across 2 legs.
Okay, you can't. I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to turn something on. I want to see if you guys can hear them after.
Why? So we beat you 5-2 by 3 goals in the first leg. Okay. Next, we beat you 3-0 at home. Wow. And you know what? I'm not even trying to go in,
We can but echo. Okay. Can you hear me now? So can you hear me speak currently? But there's an echo. TikTok when I see this piss you off. There's 2 of them, but you can hear me, okay. But when I do this, now you can only hear me once. Yeah, okay. Don't need you there. Or TikTok views could all move over to you. I mean, you could, but isn't it some people just want to stay on TikTok? but I also need to figure this out for me in the future. But let me try to figure this out here. En fait, pourquoi je vois pas? Where's the... Wait a minute. Hang on. MDR, les gars. Well, Mac OS. Pass through. No, it's best out like that. But nothing's going through. Choose the speaker to play. I'm recording now. Choose a speaker to play the sounds of other creators or guests. Okay, that's what I want. Hold on. On TikTok, can you guys hear? Is there an echo still? TikTok, but you guys can hear me. Yes, but there's no echo. Okay. Now is there an echo? Oh my. That's gonna send me insane. The thing I don't... What the fuck is going on with TikTok though? Do you know what's up with the name article? We'll get onto that once I figure out all of these ridiculous. It's just honestly TikTok Live Studio. Whatever engineer is in control of however things will work over there, y'all need to lock in, bro. Anyway, you know what? Forget this, man. I think what I'll do... I know this works. Oh. Where are you? No. There we go. Okay, can you guys still hear me currently? On TikTok, that is. Yes. You know what? I think we'll have to use this. And then ask things. Me and Rise, if I need to go and bring people up on TikTok, we'll figure things out then. All right. I think I've got it as set up as I can reasonably have it. Don't you think it's such a shame that 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙬 gets injured just when he finally finds the form he's been searching for? It's unfortunate. I think it's he's out for like a month. So he's going to miss at the very least the first leg. I hope it's unfortunate, man. But I'm feeling okay in the sense that like you still have 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙬, so we're fine. Bro, Owen, like, I'm not just open at any time of the day and just free at every begging call of yours. I can't do today, not now. It's like it's 10 p.m. currently. If I'm streaming here, I won't be able to record as well. And also, I was having camera issues. Yeah, but the other day I was having camera issues, so I wouldn't be able to record the pod. All right, okay. Ready to begin. Let me stand up. I went out and I got to anybody that's in the UK, there's a store called Primark. It's basically your just general all-purpose like sort of place if you need to go and buy, clothes and whatnot. I was able to cop some things here. First and foremost, guys, let me know, what do you guys think of this? I got this PSG sort of training top. This is not a kit. This is a training top. There's nothing on the back. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I like it. Should I keep it? I like it. Keep it. It's tough. I don't know. I think it looks all right. I think it, like I when I saw it, I like the color and whatnot, but I thought it'd grow on me a bit more. But hey, you know what? I got it. I'll keep it for now. But where I got to that Primark, that's PSG themed, is number one. I was surprised they had like a collection. Is this? It's just a pretty standard, nothing too serious PSG sort of t-shirt. And then this is the back of it. But the bigger one, look at this insane cop, bro. This is like a Letterman leather biker almost jacket with a massive PSG logo on the back. This was an expensive purchase, but honestly worth every penny. Because I've already got another PSG like last year Nike collabed one. I think this was better. Is it? You should try to buy an old PSG shirt from the tooth. I've got one. I got this one from this is I think 2002, like Ronaldinho when he was at PSG. And I got this one from, I think this is 1995. Yeah, mid-90s. But yeah. All right. PSG is just a fashion brand at this point. A pretty good one at that, and a pretty good football team too. I forgot, Junior. When did you start supporting PSG? I'd say that I started like the year I'll go and say like definitively where I was a PSG supporter is the 13-14 year. 13-14. So when PSG was wearing this kit, I remember this. This was like Zlatan's, I believe, second year. This is when he started wearing the number 10. There was no one on this one, but this is where I was like, yes, I'm definitely. I'd watched a couple of PSG games before. Like I remember the year before, that's when PSG got knocked out by Barca. Like I remember that year a bit. But I was just generally not watching football nearly as much back then. But 13-14 is the year I will say definitively I was watching PSG, like seriously. All right. Okay. Now that we've come here, guys, to go on to get into the discussions, where do we want to start? The Neymar one, the whole Neymar. In fact, hold on. By the way, I'm going to record this. If I ever need to, you know, for recording, I want to go create clips of this. So if anybody on TikTok, you guys come up eventually, do know you're being recorded. I'll also make sure to tell you guys, you know, for legal purposes so that you guys don't come and, you know, sue me. But start the recording now. Okay, so I got a recording of it. Right. So, you know, when you're going to the Parc des Princes, when I got the funds to do so. Right. What is this from Twitch? I'd like to hear your opinion on people who say support your local club. Personally, I never really felt a connection to my local team. Which isn't like. Still, I've been supporting PSG for 10 years, so I don't see why I should be called a bandwagon fan. Well, I mean, my thing with the support your local, okay, what's your local? First, like, for some people, it's pretty easy, but like, for example, I'm in London currently here. Is it like the team that's in closest proximity to you, like physically? Is that solely based on like where you live? Because does that mean a bit what? Somebody in London can just generally claim any club in London? So I'm like, not to go and say, technically, the closest club to me is Arsenal, like big club, Premier League club, I'll go and say. But there's probably another smaller, you know, third division, you know, step 4 team that's closer to me. Should I support them instead? Okay. And what if you move? Should you also move your clubs, or do you stay with who you had before? And I just think it's bizarre. Like when I was back in Canada, it's my local, if you want to go and say professional teams and whatnot, it probably would have been like either Chicago, the Chicago Fire, or the Whitecaps. So I've never really understood the gimmick of support your local. I think this is just it's ridiculous. I mean, I think maybe it also does happen in Europe, but in England for sure, they love this gimmick. They love this gimmick. Even though if it wasn't for the non-local fans, the international fans, these Premier League teams would be half the size they are. Forget half the size; they'd be a quarter or fifth, a tenth of the size they are, a tenth of the size that they actually are. Heck, even just in England alone, right? There are so many Man United fans that live in London, that are from London, right? So even if you just accounted for the English side, let's say United, for example, if you said support your local and you restricted Man United to only being, you know, Manchester Mancunians, United's fan base like gets, you know, chopped by like 5-fold. So I've never really understood that gimmick. Okay. Right. Now then, chat, what do we want to do first to react to? There's the whole overlap Neymar thing, which I got a few choice words for that. Or there's a goal fan zone. We can react. Sorry. Or we react to one of my Goal Fan Zone videos. Or appearances, rather, I'd put it that way. And I'll go and explain further on that. So my last, these last 4 of them I was in. Also, who to say I still don't like my local. I love the Vancouver Whitecaps as much as I love PSG. Fair enough. React to the list, fan zone. Oh yeah, you're on Goal Fan Zone. So, would you guys want me to talk about like the Goal Fan Zone, or I think it's this video here, or we talk about the overlap one? So because I can't really do polls or anything. Put a 1 if you want Neymar. Put a 2 if you want Goal Fan Zone. One, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 2. I think 1 is coming up more often. Okay, I'll say it's 1. I'll say it's 1. So we'll talk about the Neymar one. Let's watch the entire video first. In fact, I want to see if I can find the original video, like the video, the whole video, to see the context, maybe, because maybe there's some context we're missing. Even 𝙀𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙀 is making videos about it.
Roy, put the stumps down. Have a go. No. Come on.
Take them in then.
Hold on. I want to see, somebody must have in the comments here. All right, let's go. Let's go. Can you guys see the screen on TikTok or any other platforms? Can you guys see the screen like correctly on TikTok? There's no issues. Yes. Let me know if you guys can hear it too.
It's our community to write in.
Can you guys hear that? You get all of the kits. Wait. Do you get all of the kits this season, and what is anyone on the back? I'm assuming you mean for PSG. Yes, you can hear. So everybody can hear and everybody can see. But to answer this question, I'm assuming you're talking about the PSG kits. If you're talking about PSG kits, I have every single PSG kit this season. And I think I do have every single one of them has a name on the back. Yeah, so hold on. I'll show that first and then I'll get back to reacting to the video. But I've not forgotten the Neymar. Neymar's my guy, bro. I won't forget that. The latest one I got was obviously this new one. I got Vitinha on the back. And this Black Jordan one is Kvara. And this one, this is my favorite for this season. Barcola. And I got this home one. Like the normal fan version, this is 𝙀𝙬. Technically, this is last season's kit, so it's the exact same one. But I bought it last year, but I got it printed later on. This is Barcola on the back. And finally, I've got another version of this kit, which is I got this one in the 𝙀𝙬 one. I was actually in Paris. I went to the whatchamacallit. I was there live, I was there when the kits released, and I went to the PSG Mega Store in Paris to go and get them. And I actually got interviewed by Le Parisien, as a fan. Oh, what was your reaction? And the videos on YouTube and everything. But yeah. So this one, and this one is the Club World Cup one with the Club World Cup patch. And I got like the Dembele one. There we go. All right. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna turn on the other cam. No. I'll keep it simple. Keep it simple. Let's go for this Neymar. I'm ready for this Neymar disrespect, bro. The Neymar disrespect. Let's get going, bro. Right. Let's get ready, boys.
And the first unpopular opinion that's come in from one of our community has said, no Premier League player in history is better than a prime Neymar.
Oh, that's
Facts. Grass is green. Water is wet. The sky is blue. The speed of light is 299,792,458 meters per second. These are just facts of nature.
Yeah, if you go to the letters.
We asked our community to write in, and the first
Wayne,
that's
Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
one of our community has said, no Premier League player in history is better than a prime Neymar.
Oh, that's
Wayne,
That's rubbish.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Come on.
Salah or not?
Even Hazard.
Oh! Hazard! Oh my! You know what? Let me finish the clip. Let me finish the clip.
No.
Like Neymar, but
Hazard.
Yeah,
no,
Salah.
but come on.
Salah or not?
Even Hazard. I even throw Hazard.
Yeah, I
no,
think
but
Salah.
Hazard. There's a.
I like Neymar, but I've never seen Neymar as a top player.
I'll address that.
Messi, Ronaldo in that category.
How many
Like
Premier League
water.
players in history are better than him? You
But I
said
think
there's a few.
we
Wayne Rooney better than Neymar. Wayne Rooney better than Neymar.
Try.
Wayne Rooney better than Neymar. Gary Neville. Let's be serious. Let's be serious.
watched the
Thierry
Premier League
Henry,
though, as well.
Ronaldo.
What about Mane?
¡Sadio Mane! ¡Sadio Mane! ¿Y qué fue? ¿Y qué fue? ¿Y qué fue? Sadio Mane is better than Neymar. Le gars, misère de misère. Misère de misère. Oh my God. Oh.
Hazard. I'm going to put
I think
Hazard
he
in.
would be better.
I think so, yeah.
If
Salah?
you look back at stuff he did, it was incredible.
No, not Salah's not
I
better
think
than
so.
Neymar.
You think Salah's better than him?
Yeah.
No,
I do.
Salah's not better than Neymar. I'll have to fight Wayne for that one.
Salah's not better than Neymar.
No.
How long?
We
All right. Okay, that's the clip. Okay. Now let's start talking. Okay. There is no Premier League player, that I'll go and say, that played in the Premier League that ever got to Neymar's level. That includes Ronaldo. All right? You take Man United and Ronaldo. That's not the best version of Ronaldo. The best version of Ronaldo was at Real Madrid. But United Ronaldo does not reach Neymar's level. Guys, let's be respectful. He gets it. You can go and see one that gets close, but he does not reach it. 07, 08 Ronaldo does not get to 17, 18 Neymar. No. All right? If anything, if you really want to, fine. I'll go and say he's the only one that gets close. Anyone else? Thierry Henry? No. Wayne Rooney? Hell no. Hell no, and I'll get onto that one later on. Your Salahs, your Manes, your Shearers, your whoever you want, they do not get to Senor Neymar da Silva Santos. And in fact, now these people need to start. These people, they can't use Neymar Jr. anymore. Not because that's disrespectful. Maybe because, it's like, when your teacher allows you to, call them by their first name and you start disrespecting them, you need to go back to basics. Call them by their full name. Senor Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. This is disrespectful. Neymar is clear of every single Premier League player that has ever played in the Premier League, bar Ronaldo. And even then, I still say he's better. C'est beau pas. Now let's get on to Wayne. Wayne Rooney. With all the... Forget any respects at this point. Forget any respects. Get ready to go and clip this. Do whatever you need to do with this. I'll get nice and close. Santos Neymar is better than any version of Wayne Rooney. Any version of Wayne Rooney. Santos Neymar is better than him. C'est beau pas. Wayne Rooney has never even reached... Wayne Rooney dreams of reaching the levels that Santos Neymar, 2012 Neymar was reaching. C'est beau pas. Stop this flippant gimmick. Stop this gimmick. And you know what? That reminds me, because after this, I was going and watching, and I saw SofaScore. They had this post here comparing the two, Neymar and Wayne Rooney. And they looked at, obviously, this is just them in the Champions League, comparing their stats and whatnot. You go and you look at it, obviously, Wayne Rooney, funnily enough, I didn't even know, Wayne Rooney played more games than Neymar. Neymar has more goals, more assists, more tackles, even though Wayne Rooney was known to be this hard knocks, Brexit football and whatnot. Nah, Neymar had more tackles, and obviously dribbles rate. It's low-key not even fair to compare the two. And then somebody, I think, I like the comment, yeah. Somebody here says, zero ball knowledge. Football means comparing footballers and by numbers. By numbers. Or I'm assuming they meant to say not by numbers. And then this comment's like, so I test against Neymar. Against Neymar. Shout out Oscar. Shout out Oscar Footy. Shout out Oscar Footy. I test against Neymar. Listen, you guys know I'm not the biggest proponent. I don't like using the eye test in comparisons when you're making debates, because when debating or comparing two players, because it's subjective. But if there's any player you cannot use the eye test against, it's Senor Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. This guy, the eye test was basically created for him. There is no player out there, bar maybe what, a Messi, that will go and says, I chat to Neymar, eye test to eye test. Stop this gimmick. Doesn't matter what version of the eye test you want to go and use. This, oh my gosh, bro. Oh la 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 la. This is disgusting. This is what I'm going to say. I want to go and try to find the actual, like the original quote, because maybe there's something I'm missing here. So I'm finding the here's the exact full episode, the full length episode. I want to see. Does somebody in the comments go and give a timestamp? Is there a timestamp? Where's the name? Or I don't want to have. Okay, hold on. Maybe I have to. Please don't make me search for the transcript. Show transcript. I have to look for like Neymar. Oh. Is it this? No. I think it's here. Okay, so here, I found it. Okay, got it. Let's watch the actual. You know what? I'll sit down for this one. I'll be respectful. I'll sit down for it. Maybe there's something that was lost in context and whatnot. So guys, we'll watch it together. Okay, we're all here together. We'll watch it with context, because maybe there's something that we missed there. If you guys want to go and watch it for yourselves, it's on the Overlap. Actually, I'm not sure if it's going to be available outside the UK. The Overlap, right here. Is Bruno a United legend? Neymar overrated? Dang. Okay. Anywho. Right. All right. Let's go. Let's listen.
Watch every match live only on Disney Plus.
Right, we've got a different type of show this week. Unpopular opinions.
Wow.
No Premier League player in history is better than a prime Neymar.
No players better.
That's what we asked.
there is
so
ones that are
we asked our community to write in, and the first unpopular opinion that's come in from one of our community has said, no Premier League player in history is better than a prime Neymar.
Oh, that's
Wayne.
That's rubbish.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Thierry is not if you ask Thierry Henry seriously, yes, no gimmicks, don't try to push. You ask him, you take him, no cameras, no nothing. Thierry Henry tells you Neymar's a better player than him. Stop, bro. Stop this gimmick, man.
Come on.
Salah or not?
Even Hazard. I didn't even throw Hazard. No.
Have these guys ever seen Neymar play? Guys, are they talking about Neymar's dad? Neymar Pai? Maybe him. Okay, maybe they're talking about him. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. Neymar that played at Barca, PSG, and Santos. Him. No. Eden Hazard himself, I would go and say, never reached the peaks of 14, 15 Neymar. Never. Ever in his career. Ever.
Salah.
Hazard, there's a...
I like Neymar, but I've never seen Neymar as a top player.
Yeah.
Like, as
Neymar has 2 Wayne Rooneys in each leg. Neymar is light years above anything Wayne Rooney has ever done.
Messi, Ronaldo, in that.
You know, it's stuff like this. It's comments like this. Honestly, it's comments like this. You know, you guys, I live in the UK, right? I live in England. And, you know, even though I'm a good Frenchman and whatnot, I do want England, generally speaking, to do well at international competitions. You know, if France get knocked out or Canada get knocked out and whatnot, and I've got no one to root for, I want England to do well. Comments like these will go and get me going and saying, I want England to get grouped in the next World Cup. I want England to finish dead last in their group and get packing home early with comments like this. This is disrespectful. This is disrespectful to the sport of football itself. This is embarrassing. Embarrassing. And an embarrassment to football. Like, I think I was listening to PSG in going and talking about this. It just goes to show you that sometimes just because you've played the game does not necessarily mean that all your takes all of a sudden are valid. What is this? What is this? Wesh. Oh, la, 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 la. My respect for some of these players. Culotte. Wesh. Oh, la, 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 la. They must be talking about MJ. You're right. They must be talking about Neymar's identical twin. Puree. Wesh.
That's great.
Joe,
It could have been, but he didn't get to that place.
he was. I mean, we obviously I played against him with Valencia. They beat us 7-0, and that front three was Neymar, Suarez, and Messi.
I know.
Tough
That
day.
sounds like hard
It was
work.
ridiculous.
Did you not park the bus? Did you not try and sit in? No,
But Neymar, to be fair, he's the one that.
But was it 7, Nevin? It could have been 7.
Yeah, there you go. Gary Neville right there is probably about to say Neymar was probably the one who caused us the most issues, but he got cut off. You see, these guys are pushing agendas. Honestly, I'm not even sure. Hold on, let me go back. Did Gary Neville ever say what his take was?
And the first unpopular opinion that's come in from one of our community has said, no Premier League player in history is better than a prime Neymar.
Oh,
Wayne.
That's rubbish.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Come on.
Salah or not?
And I've never mind. Forget it, man. Forget it. I thought Gary. Yeah, I thought Gary was trying to go and say like, yeah, no, like he didn't give his opinion, but if he's going and saying Salah, it means he's sort of agreeing with everybody else. Honestly, I don't know why I was trying to defend him there. The only apt response there is to go and say, this is a ridiculous take. Yes, he's better than everybody there.
Even Hazard. I didn't even throw Hazard.
Yeah, I
No,
think Salah.
That's Roy Keane. I mean, Roy Keane said, I know Roy Keane doesn't watch football outside of It's out of 5 games. I'm not even sure where he can watch his football.
Hazard, there's a.
I like Neymar, but I've never seen Neymar as a top player.
Yeah.
Like as Messi, Ronaldo in that category.
He could have been, but he didn't get to that place.
He was. I mean, we obviously I played against him with Valencia. They beat us 7-0, and that front three was Neymar, Suarez, and Messi.
I know. That sounds like hard
It was
work.
ridiculous.
Did you not park the bus? Did you not try and sit in? No,
But Neymar, to be fair, he's the one that.
But was it 7, Evan?
This is why Wayne Rooney failed as a coach. I mean, everyone here failed as a. Honestly, that's actually a good point. That actually, low key, that's facts. Everyone on that table there. Hold on, let's go back. Let's go to a frame where maybe they're all together.
17, or was it just 7? Every time they took a shot.
Yeah, but I'm looking at Neymar. He was.
There we go. Hold on. Every single one of these people failed as a coach. Listen, I don't know. I'm not sure if Ian Wright was a coach. Gary Neville failed as a coach. Wayne Rooney failed as a coach. And let's not forget Roy Keane too failed as a coach. Maybe we're seeing patterns here.
Unbelievable. Look, it was Neymar. Is it because he hasn't won the World Cup that we're saying this, or is it because of what he's?
No, it's not just the World Cup stuff, is it? Has he ever been likeable? Has people liked him as much as?
That's the thing. Is it the likability, the World Cup?
When he left the way he left, was it Barca, and it was just all a bit. I think you always got the impression it was again very much about money, and maybe he wasn't a team player at PSG. It was, and I know these lads can be selfish. You can be selfish in the right way. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, he was never kind of that likable, was he? Am I wrong with that?
No. I'm not interested.
So how many Premier League players in history are better than him?
But I think
there's a few.
we watched the Champions League game as well.
Ronaldo.
There you go. I think is that Jill Scott. Is that her name? Yeah, it is Jill Scott. And that is a fair point.
What about Mane?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, never mind. And then she says that. Like, listen, I'll try to go and say maybe of all of them, her point is saying that we only watched the Prem, fine. Then yeah, that's probably why. But I still assume that these guys like watch Champions League football, that they watch the World Cup, they watch these other big competitions. Like Neymar wasn't just playing in Liga or La Liga. He was playing in the Champions League. He was playing at the World Cup. He was in all of these other big competitions. Oh.
I love
Hazard. I'll put
I
Hazard.
think he
in.
would be better.
I think so. Yeah.
I do,
Oh my gosh! Even get
you look
this
back
is
at stuff he did,
disgusting,
like,
bro.
it's incredible.
No.
What did he do? No. Yeah, let's talk about the Mane one then. What did Mane do then? What did Mane achieve over Neymar? No, I'm actually enlightened, guys. Let's try to think together. Let's do this. This is a collective exercise. So, what Mane won one international trophy for his first country. Okay, fine. He's got a Champions League. He's got a Premier League. He's got an FA Cup. He may have 2. No, I think he's got an FA Cup, Carabao Cup. So Neymar has a treble. So that's all 3 domestic competitions taken out. Several league titles. He's also got a Champions League. I mean, if you want to go and say, okay, fair enough, he doesn't have an international trophy to the caliber of an AFCON, so which would be the equivalent of like a World Cup or a Copa America. But Neymar does have the Confederations Cup with Brazil. That counts for something. And he got the Olympics. That's not nothing. So just on the trophy aspect, Neymar's already better. Neymar's Champions League campaign in 14-15 is better than is better than what Mane did. Even in that 18-19 season, which, don't get me wrong, Mane was excellent actually that year. Mane's in the same conversations as Neymar. Just sounds blasphemous. It is. The rage being at this point. Like, the thing is, though, Hazard was always said, oh, is Hazard better than Neymar? Like, Neymar was always, the metric, the standard to which you measure yourself to. No one ever said, is Neymar better than Hazard? No one ever said that. It was always the other way around.
No, Salah's not
I
better
think
than
so.
Neymar.
You think Salah's better than him?
Yeah.
No,
I do.
Salah's not better than Neymar. I'll have to.
All right. I mean, so at least some people have sense there. Some people have sense. I mean, you're saving yourself from a bit. From.
Waiting for that.
Salah's not better than Neymar.
No.
How long was he at Barcelona? I think he was good at Barcelona, but I think he was still always overshadowed by Messi.
Yeah. But are we talking ability?
Okay, fine. Then listen. Even if you want to go and use that point that he was at Barcelona, he was overshadowed by Messi. True. But still being overshadowed by Messi was still better than any other player that the Premier League has ever seen. Like if you're second to the best, you're still second. Like we're not saying that Neymar was ever better than Messi or better than Ronaldo and whatnot, even though there's cases maybe for stretches of time he may have been. But that's not the point here. The claim here is that Neymar would be the best ever Premier League player, and that is facts.
Wise in respect to, because if it's ability wise, I think he is better than Salah. But like longevity, probably Salah will probably nick it. But as a player, I'm going with
The ability is there, but did he just do it enough?
But this is the problem, and this is where the top players should get the credit because you know what I mean. The pressure they're under and to perform consistently.
Especially the attacking players, yeah.
Like Wayne did from the age of 16. You know, it's something I constantly say.
Right, next one.
So that's the hit. That's the take, man. I mean, there's not really much context that I was missing there. I think it was pretty accurate. Oh my God. The thing is, I've heard Salah before. You've heard Hazard being compared to him. Mane is better than Neymar. MDR. You know what? I'd be curious to. Leah's made a video about this. I'd be really curious to go and to react to what he had to say on the matter.
One of the most heavily requested.
I think I'll have to go and make a long form video. This is absolutely disgusting. This is a blasphemous take. Like I remember there's also people at Talk Sports as well who said, what did he say? There's somebody at Talk Sports here in the UK who said, I think it's a Chelsea fan, funnily enough, who said something like, in terms of ability, he took some like a random proper whack. He said Martinelli is better than Neymar. He said he'd take Martinelli over Neymar. That could give me a heart attack. That could legitimately give me that could send me into cardiac arrest. That is a disgusting take. Woeful. Generational stinker. What do you think is the biggest reason Neymar gets disrespected? Well, as in, it depends. If you're asking here in this country, it's because he didn't play in England. That's why. And even then, I don't know, because I guess Messi never played in England, but I think that's probably why he didn't play in England. Because apart from that, he's got a Champions League. And maybe because he didn't achieve nearly as much for Brazil, is that it? Like even then, like he still had really, really good World Cup campaigns. I don't know, bro. I really do not know. Chat, should we watch this 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 video talking about Neymar? Like when we did anything for England, true. Like they were going and saying Wayne Rooney, Neymar is better than. In fact, let's actually get the stats for the two players out. I know Transfermarkt is not the most accurate in terms of statistics, but I don't have the time to go through and nitpick every single thing. So we'll Neymar all-time statistics, and I'll do Wayne Rooney stats all-time. I'll compare the two. This, forget this. I'm putting Neymar on the left. Neymar and Wayne Rooney here. So here we go. Neymar's on the left here. Wayne Rooney's on the right. So all time, Wayne Rooney's played more games, 764 to Neymar's 624. Despite that, and Neymar has more goals, 374 to Wayne Rooney's 313. Neymar has more assists, 231 to Wayne Rooney's 168. Want to look at the Champions League, a competition they shared in common. He has more games, 85 to Neymar's 81. Neymar has 13 more goals, right? To Neymar's, so 43 to 30, more assists. In fact, does he have less minutes as well as him there too? I think they played a similar amount of minutes. Yeah, they played a similar amount of minutes. In fact, Neymar played less. So this is what? 6,908 minutes compared to 6,983. So he also has more more minutes than him by a pretty considerable amount. That's what? 983 minus 908. Is it? Did I have the wrong? No. Okay, 75 more minutes. So the same amount of minutes. My bad. Rooney closer to Rubinho than Neymar. Facts. No, pal. That's true. Rooney is my favorite Man United legend ever, but he's a bum compared to Neymar. It's true. Rooney was a striker as well, true, whereas Neymar was a winger. As in Rooney, maybe Rooney. Okay, I think we can see the profile for the player. He's a center forward, so we can see where they played off most often. So Rooney predominantly was a center forward, like second striker. Played 319 games at center forwards, 214 as a second striker, and then later on played deeper. Whereas Neymar played 304 games. So yeah, Rooney was definitely, if not like the out and out striker, was a part of a 2-man strike team. So you can't use that as the excuse. Even if you look at the goals and whatnot, Neymar has got more goals as a winger than he does than Rooney does as a striker. And this is only, and then like we can go then compare, because I think this only accounts for like club. Internationally, can I see internationally? They don't show it here on Transfermarkt. Because internationally, I know Neymar's got more goals than him. Neymar's is Brazil's all-time goal scorer and assist provider. And in terms of internationally, even though you could say Neymar has not achieved as much as you'd expect him to, he's still achieved a whole heck of a lot more than Wayne Rooney. What has Rooney even achieved? Rooney's never been to a semifinal in an international competition. Forget finals or that. He's never been to a semi. And then forget about winning any silverware. Bruh, yeah. I'm done, bro. I'd be curious to see. Actually, chat, do you guys should we watch this Les Bouzidi video talking about this? I mean, I think they're saying he's wrong about Neymar. Or the goal fan zone. Up to you guys. That's a ridiculous take, though. Bring people up. I'll bring people up later on. It's just because if I bring people up, I'm going to have to mess around with the audio again. Nay brings me happiness when people watch. People assume he's a highlight merchant. The thing is, I mean, if you want to go and call him, he was a highlight. Yes, he was very good at getting highlights and whatnot. But like, he also has the stats to back it up. No pro likes Neymar. They don't think that he's anything special. Just YouTubers like you. No pros. Just go speak to Messi. Go speak to any Brazilian. I like, if anything, I think maybe if you want to talk about English pros, maybe, but pros very much do respect Neymar. Every time I hear English media talk about international players, I lose brain cells. I hear you, Isaiah, man. I hear you. Neymar's career ended in 2017. WTF compete. Okay. Let's go and say, all right, even though Neymar himself has come out and said that his best years were in we're at PSG. Fine, no problem. Even if we do that, we play your little gimmick. Neymar in 2017 is still a better career than anything Wayne Rooney did. He had a Champions League, he had a treble, which Rooney did not. He had a podium finish in the Ballon d'Or, which Rooney did not. He'd already won the Confederations Cup for Brazil. He'd won the gold medal for Brazil. You can go and say, oh, it's Confederations, it's Fugazi. What did Wayne Rooney do for England? So he'd already achieved more internationally, club-wise. He won multiple league titles as well. In 2017 alone, Neymar had already accomplished, at 24, Neymar had accomplished more than Wayne Rooney did in his entire career. Bro, stop this gimmick, bro. Like, even if you want to talk about longevity, be like a step. So Wayne Rooney, in fairness, he started really young at 16 and whatnot. So did Neymar. And then Wayne Rooney, when did he end? When did he stop playing seriously? Neymar ended what? You'd say 3 years ago, maybe? Neymar is currently 34? So he ended at 31? Wayne Rooney was done similar age. Wayne Rooney retired and turned into a granddad. Facts. I mean, fair. Listen, there's nothing wrong in whatnot, but MLS Wayne Rooney is better than Neymar at PSG. MDR. You know what? There's a quote that goes and says, "If you argue with the fool, you just prove that there are two." So I'm gonna move on. Junior, I understand it. Junior, these comments are rage, but I understand it. No, it's just rage, but but thank you for the gift. Whoever gifted me that, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Thank you. I hate people saying his best was at Barca. Instantly lets me know they don't have ball knowledge. I mean, Neymar has come out himself and said that if you truly understand and know ball, you would know that my best years were at PSG. So, what more needs to be said there? Nice stream. We should be doing this more often. I just love talking about football. No worries, man. I think we'll stay on this Neymar one. But I'll watch the 𝙀𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙐 one. I'm curious to see what his viewpoint on this whole debacle is. It's a long video though, so I might have to speed it up. The issue I hate when speeding it up is, chat, do you guys mind if I speed up the video when watching it? I watch basically all my videos at 2x speed anyways. The only issue is that if I speed it up, and let's say somebody watches me, a rebroadcast of the stream afterwards, if they then speed up my stream, Lez's video is going to be doubly speeded up or doubly sped up. Who do you think has been better this season? I'm assuming you're meaning. Oh, sorry. Who do you think is going to have a better season, Barcola or Doué? Okay, sorry. I misread your question initially. Who's going to at the end? Depends. Even last season, though, I personally think, for as much as I love Doué, I also love Barcola, I think Barcola had overall the better season than Doué last year. So, and you could argue he's having the better season currently. I think the only thing is that Doué reached higher peaks last year. That's the difference. Speed it up. Can you bring people on after? I feel like a lot of people would like to talk this about Neymar. I will. We'll definitely go and bring on people afterwards. Did you see the horror show the horror show at the United game, as in the game itself, or was there another incident apart from that? Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the 40 roses, Matt. Thank you for the 40 roses, Matthew. Appreciate it, man. Really do. All right, let's watch this latest Busy one. I'll speed it up. So apologies to anybody who doesn't like listening to things sped up.
Videos I have ever done, right? The amount of people that have asked me to react to the Overlap speaking about Neymar, I haven't seen much like this. But if you missed it yesterday, or at the time recording yesterday, the Overlap had their weekly podcast, and this week they did something called Unpopular Opinions, where they had, I think, viewers of the show send in opinions that they deemed unpopular. And one of them, which has taken the internet by absolute storm, is about Neymar. Surprise. But basically, Gary Neville, Wayne Rooney, Jill Scott, Roy Keane, and Ian Wright all sat down and spoke about Neymar in depth. And it's not great, is it? It's not great.
Okay. It's a good start. It's a good start. I think the broad footballing world are people who watch ball and understand and are appreciators of the game. All have come to a consensus that this take is ridiculous. The thing is how far do we go and agree with it? Because I'll go and say that Neymar is better than any ever Premier League player. Some people have gone and told me that no, it's ridiculous to go and put people like Wayne, people like Hazard, people like Mane, Salah, but Neymar is not better than Henry or Ronaldo. I personally think that Neymar is better. Neymar Prime especially is better than both Thierry Henry as well as United or Premier League era Cristiano Ronaldo. But let's go. Let's continue.
Give them a chance. Let's hear what they have to say, and then I'll give you guys my opinions. You know how this works.
No Premier League player in history is better than a prime Neymar. Wayne,
That's rubbish.
Thierry Henry,
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Salah or not?
Even Hazard.
I like Neymar, but I've never seen Neymar as a top player.
Yeah.
Like, as Messi, Ronaldo in that category.
Now, funnily enough, right, Wayne Rooney's statement here is like the big headline that everyone has taken, and that's the reason I even saw this video. Wayne Rooney says Neymar was never a top player. But actually, right, whether I agree with that or not is a different conversation. It's probably the least controversial thing that gets said throughout this episode, which is so funny to me that was the one that got taken the most heat. But Wayne Rooney says Neymar was never seen as a top player in regards to the Cristiano Ronaldos and the Messis. And I don't necessarily disagree. Neymar is not Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi's level in terms of...
Okay, hold on. As in the thing, I agree and disagree with the point. As in, if you want to go and say that Neymar was... No, actually, I think I just generally disagree. If you want to say Neymar's never, ever at any point, then I disagree. No, because there were spells in 17-18 where Neymar was in the conversation of being better or right on par with Messi and Ronaldo, right? When he finished in the bottom of the podium, it's like, what could Neymar do in a couple of seasons? When he went to PSG, before his injury, I would go and argue Neymar was better than Messi and Ronaldo that season. 17-18, that year, up till February when Neymar got injured, I would go and say Neymar was having a better season than Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. For me, that's not crazy to say. And at that moment, if you want to go and say that was like a decent 7-month span, then he's a better player. So to go and say that he was never in those conversations is false. Now, if you want to go and say that he never lived up to it or he, for a sustained amount, fine, that's a separate conversation. But even with that point, I disagree.
the game, right? Those two are on a different level in my eyes to every other player. Like what they've accomplished, at least in the modern era, right? I can't speak for the Maradonas and stuff because that's not my time. I got my opinions, but I don't really have the best takeaway of it because I didn't watch Maradona's entire career. I just know what he accomplished, right? But if we're looking at the modern game, Ronaldo and Messi's era, no one is on their level. What they accomplished in 15 years, the records that they set, the numbers that they hit, the trophies that they won, the dominance that they achieved, the stranglehold they had on the game, no one's on their level. Now, you could argue that Neymar was the closest to that level. I certainly probably would take that stance. I think there's a lot of guys like the Luis Suarez of the world, like him. There's a lot, right? But you could argue he's the closest, but yeah, he's not on their level. There's no shame in that because newsflash, guys, no one's on their level. No one is on Messi and Ronaldo's level from the moment they start playing football to the moment that they're done. It's impossible to be on their level. They hit such a crazy standard that to say now a player cannot be considered top because they weren't as good as them is it's kind of hard to put that threshold there because then Wayne, my brother, I love you. I'm a Man United fan. You guys see that right there? That's a signed Wayne Rooney shirt from the man himself. I interviewed him. I met him on a personal level. I love Wayne Rooney. Like honestly, that's my as a Man United fan growing up. That's my goal. That is my favorite Man United player ever. I don't have a bad word to say about Wayne Mark Rooney. Knight him. But Wayne, Waza, if Neymar's not a top player because he wasn't on Messi Ronaldo's level, neither were you. Neither was Roy.
Merci. If that's the game, that's the levels we're gonna go and say. Even let's go and say, like, it again, going back to that point of Neymar was never at that level. If you want to say, like, obviously over the course of his career, yes, obviously. But if you're gonna go and say that for moments, times, yes, he was. There were moments where he was going to that point, yeah. But okay, that's neither here nor there. But then if that's the standard you're going and saying you never saw him seriously, there's saying that, which in fairness, I could hear out. That's not the craziest thing to go and say. Fine. Okay. But then going and comparing him to Salahs, to Hazards, guys. Tranquilo.
Keane, neither was Ian Wright, neither was like Suarez, neither was De Bruyne, neither was Hazard, neither was anyone you think of is not considered a top player. So for him to say he's not on Messi Ronaldo's level is fine, but then say he's not a top player because he's not on the level is just no one's top then. And I guess this kind of maybe he's using it like some people say a world class argument, right? What does world class mean? There's no definition. So one person's world class might be another's, but I think that's where Wayne Rooney made a mistake there. To say he's not a top player because of that, it's a little harsh because then yeah, no shit, man, no one's a top player. So I think Wayne Rooney got the most stick from that, but probably for the least reason. What I will say, right, before we go on to the other comments that were made here, I saw a lot of people disrespecting Wayne Rooney and his career after this comment, right? I seen one person say, no kid has ever wanted to grow up and be Wayne Rooney. Slow down.
Hey, you know what? At this point, that's the level of disrespect Wayne Rooney is saying. I think that's fair. Throw all the insults. Hey, for stuff like that, people have gone lambasted for less. That's all I'll say. No, this whole respect gimmick all goes out the window when you start saying stuff like that. Listen, I'm someone, respect Wayne Rooney, respect for what you did. But when you start disrespecting Senor Neymar, for me, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. 𝙊𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏, fais attention, 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏.
Slow down a little bit. Let's not act crazy here. Even if you're Neymar, calm down. You guys know who Wayne Rooney is. Wayne Rooney is one of the most legendary players in the history of football. Certainly of his era. He's in my eyes.
What? Les?
History of football. Certainly.
Most legendary players in the history of football. But again, this goes down to how exactly are you defining most legendary of all? Like, is it top 10? Top 20? Top 25? Is Wayne Rooney a top 25 player in the history of football? Serious question. The floor is open. No, Isaiah. Serious question, guys. Respond. Is Wayne Rooney a top 25 player in the history of the game? Salesman says no. No. Ronak says no. Kevin says no. Incredible Stan, you say no, it's a no for me. Majid, you say it's debatable. Top 48, Thomas, you say. Legendary doesn't mean you have to be the best player of all time. But hold on, if you're saying you're a legend, like, so, but then that's where the conversation comes to, isn't what exactly or how exactly are you defining, like, legendary player? Is it, for me, if you're legendary, you have to be, yes, remembered, but there has to be some sort of cutoff. So if you go and you say that, there's like 250 legendary players, well then, like at that point, I think your definition of legendary players is much, much, much too wide. Maybe top 25 strikers. Okay, yeah. It's a no for everybody. Let's see what he says.
The greatest English footballer to ever come from these shores. He's in the conversation for the greatest Premier League player of all time. His career at club level is pretty much foolproof. That's before you even like talking about how good of a player he actually was, how versatile he was, how unselfish he was, how winning he was. Wayne Rooney is a legend. And from a personal point of view, outside of being a Man United fan, let me tell you guys this. I grew up in the US almost my whole life. So I was that guy at school in my life or whatever. I was obsessed with football. I can tell you very, very clearly that between 2006 and 2010, 2014, football was not that big in the US, at least where I was growing up. But what I can say is that even a casual person in the US at the time knew maybe 5 footballers. They knew them. They knew Messi, they knew Cristiano Ronaldo. I'd say 6. They knew Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, Ronaldinho, Pelé, and Wayne Rooney. Those were like the 6 that if you asked any casual person on the street, they'd probably be able to name you those 6 names. Wayne Rooney, dude. Like, they knew Wayne Rooney, man. That's how big of a name he was. That was on the FIFA cover for 9 years straight. Newsflash, the FIFA cover is basically popularity contest. Who's the most popular player in the game? Rooney was on that for 9 years straight. He had the streets like that, bro. Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, I mean, no one's denying that Wayne Rooney, was very popular, but was Wayne Rooney ever as popular as Neymar was? I think right now, what everything is going and showing you just goes to show, right? Like if guys, what do you guys think? What are the odds that Neymar, because in fact, I'd highly recommend a lot of you guys, because Neymar, if you guys don't know, Neymar has a YouTube channel. Neymar, oh my goodness, Junior. Neymar has a YouTube channel, and I'd highly recommend you guys go and watch it. And this is where he went and reacted to whatchamacallit, like him going and the derby against Corinthians, as well as the like him not being called up for the team and whatnot. Imagine in one of these, he goes and he addresses the Wayne Rooney thing, and he goes and says Wayne Rooney is like not even half my level. The way the internet would eat that up. But anyways, let's get back on track. I feel like we need a response from Neymar.
Street striker, come on, bro. To say no one dreamed of being Wayne Rooney growing up is nonsense. Let's not go overboard. You can think he's better than Neymar or not, or vice versa, whatever you think. Let's not pretend like Wayne Rooney was a bum. This is a legend of the game.
No, he's not a bum. Let's be respectful.
That's where it starts to get a little.
Let's be respectful. Okay, guys. We've had our fun and whatnot. You know what? Maybe I still stand on my point that I don't think that Wayne Rooney as a football player ever reached the levels of a Santos Neymar. I stand on that. But, you know, the other stuff, okay, respect Wayne Rooney still. Respect Wayne Rooney, you know. Let's not fight fire with fire.
Still controversial. I think this one, for the most part, I'd love to talk to Rooney about what he considers a top player, because maybe he just thinks Neymar's not good in general. But for them to then say Ronaldo and Messi, come on, man.
Neymar, is it because he hasn't won the World Cup that we're saying this, or is it because of what he's... No, it's not just the World Cup stuff, is it? Has he ever been likeable? Has people liked him as much? That's the thing, is it likability?
To answer Gary Neville's question, yes, it is the likability aspect. And this ultimately is why, with all due respect to any of my British viewers or anyone who's from the UK, I just have a hard time having the Neymar conversation with anyone from the UK. I'm sorry, it's not you, maybe it's me. But I just find, when it comes to discussing Neymar, when it comes to people from the United Kingdom, the conversation never has to do with football. Ever. We're never actually talking about his ability or his records or what he's accomplished in the game or how good he was. It's never actually about that. It always comes down to his likability factor. The diving, the complaining, the theatrics, the over-the-top showboating. It never actually has to do with his football. People genuinely, I think, in the UK, look at Neymar and think like this is just some Sam Maximin on steroids. I genuinely think when they think of Neymar, that's the
facts. That is a good thing. And they just think that he did flicks and tricks. And I think that's the thing that somebody on Talk Sports. In fact, let me try to go and find that Talk Sports one. Like, I think they just go and see that this guy is nothing more than like an 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝘾 merchant. And this is why I go and say, like, even when people go and say, oh, you have an agenda, like, I think Lamine Yamal is excellent. And I'm just going to say that he's not. These players also put up GA. These players are also able to win you games. These players have also had generational campaigns. They're more than just dribblers. They're more than just showboaters. Talk Sports on the Neymar one. It's probably done the rounds now, surely. So I should be able to find this relatively easily. Neymar, where is it? Is it here? Oh, dang, they just made a lot of videos. Oh. It's here.
Right, Dawn Neymar, social media today, following comments from Wayne Rooney on the overlap, who's asked whether Neymar would be a great ever Premier League player if he ever played in England. Wayne Rooney responded by saying he never saw Neymar as a top player. Jace, I know your stance on Neymar, but for the people who may not know it, let them know.
So this is a conversation I had, this is before COVID, I remember the conversation, and I said that I felt Neymar was the most overrated player of his generation. And I stand by it. I do not see the player that everyone else is. Is he talented? Yes. I do not see this player. If you gave me a choice between Wayne Rooney and Neymar, it's not even close. It's not even close.
What? You know what? No. You know what? I'll give it to him. It is not even close. It's not even close because it's Neymar every single day. Obviously, he's gonna go and say it's Wayne Rooney.
Neymar is a YouTube player.
He's not a YouTube player. You can't call Neymar a YouTube player.
I just did.
No, you can't. He's got 30 major honours.
Mate, he did
not a YouTube player.
He did win a major honour when he left Barcelona.
He did. He won the. He won the league.
Mate, I said major honour.
Okay, now you see. Who is this guy? What? Jason Cundy? Is that his name? Him. Loan. 145 caps. I won't say anything more. But let's continue, man.
Come on, mate. Come on. No. Look, he probably made a mistake going to PSG. But because he's signed for 220 million.
But that's disrespectful, going saying. Winning a league or title, you can say whatever you want. Winning a league or title, winning a top 5 league is a major title. What? What? Oh my goodness, bro.
Well, how'd that go? How'd that work out?
Well, it worked out how it worked out. At the end of the day, he was the 3rd best player in the world.
No, not even close.
For a period of time.
No, mate, no.
Obviously, Ronaldo and Messi are on a different planet. But they're different planets
there are people that got mesmerised, and you're one of them, by flicks, tricks.
No.
I'm not.
He wasn't a flick.
He's a flick and trick merchant, mate.
He had everything.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Tell you what he didn't have. He didn't have a heart.
A heart. What?
I find that so hard for you to say.
No, I didn't. And I said at the time, and this is going back, I remember this conversation, this is like 2018-19, he was the most overrated player of his generation. And everyone had a problem. I was getting Neymar Boy 36, battering him on Twitter from Uruguay, wherever they might be.
Neymar Boy 36?
Well, all of that fanboys. I was having all of it. I woke up one morning, mate, I couldn't get through the Neymar fanboys.
Yeah.
And I stand by it. And,
if he played in the Premier League in that era, he would have been the best player in the league.
Thank you. Merci. You know, maybe it's not all of them. Maybe it's all of them. Is it? I think this is James O'Hara, something O'Hara. Merci, thank you, man. Oh.
No,
He wouldn't have survived, mate.
Listen,
He wouldn't have survived.
He wouldn't have survived because he would have been taken, sent to jail, tried for crimes against the Premier League, and burnt at the stake for witchcraft. Right? This guy's Neymar single-handedly would have gotten the British population going back to church because they would have said what he's doing is witchcraft. They would have burnt him at the stake like Joan of Arc for what he was doing, for witchcraft.
He weren't built. He's a flick.
Was he better than Hazard?
I think the same category.
Oh, I mean, at least he's not saying Hazard's better than him. You need to stop torturing yourself by watching these fools.
Hazard he's in the same category as Hazard. Hazard single-handedly won the Premier League title.
Hazard had balls.
Neymar balls when he went to Real Madrid, did he?
No, he had injured. That's different.
Right?
Neymar's not built for Premier League, mate. He ain't built. He's built for just. He was so protected. I did enjoy watching him because he was always.
You enjoy watching Neymar?
No. He's a ball player. That's what he is.
Neymar, you need. Oh my gosh, he's a baller league player. Guys, listen to what he said.
You enjoy watching Neymar?
No.
I'll play it normal time.
That's who he is.
Oh my gosh.
He's a baller league player. And a good one. I'm not saying he's not. But you give me.
Yeah, that's outrageous. That's outrageous.
That's outrageous. That's a crazy take, bro. That's a crazy take, bro. Oh, Babs, I agree. What? Oh, no. Baller, that is embarrassing. That is disgusting, bro. That is disgusting,
he's
bro.
outrageous. You can't call him baller league.
He's baller league.
He's not. He played for Barcelona. They won the treble.
He didn't win the treble. Let's be honest, right? We know he won the treble. We know that Messi. I get offended when people put him in a bracket that could be anywhere near Messi.
Hold on. In that season, Neymar scored in the quarterfinal, semifinal, and final of a Champions League in the Champions League. He finished with the same amount of goals as Messi and Ronaldo did that campaign. He was the best player in that Champions League campaign, or arguably, if you want to go and give it to Messi. What the flip do you mean? He never did this and he needed help. He was a major factor as to why Barcelona lifted that Champions League. What?
Ronaldo.
So you put him in the same team as KSI?
Yeah, I think they link up well.
That's outrageous.
I just didn't. I didn't see it.
I don't get what your problem is.
I do not see. Look, is he a talented boy? Yes. Right. I'm not saying that. But when you start offending people's ears by saying that he's in the same bracket as Messi and Ronaldo, don't even go there.
No. You see, that's the problem. Is that okay? People are not saying that he's in their categories, and again, it depends also how you're defining what does it mean to be in their categories, right? You can be in their like talent wise, but still be like distantly third and whatnot. That's not what people are saying.
I'm not putting him in Messi and Ronaldo. I'm putting him in as the third best player in the world at that time.
He's in a tier below.
Yeah.
I'm really saying he didn't rate him.
No, give me room every day of the week over Neymar.
No.
I didn't see Neymar as everyone else did. I just didn't see it. And I'm probably in the minority, but I've been saying this for 6-7 years now. I do not see that player.
I'm not even chat. Nobody comment. It's not the time. This is serious stuff. Nobody comment, please. Do not do it. Do not do it.
I never saw it. I didn't get it. Is he talented? Yes. Would I want him in my team? No chance. He plays on his own. He ain't a team player. It's about him. He's selfish. He's arrogant and he's vain. It's all about him. Don't talk to me about anyone being in the same bracket as Ronaldo and Messi and give me Wayne Rooney every day of the week. The reason
I knew somebody would do it. I knew somebody would do it. No. Oh yeah, Barca enthusiast. That's a timeout, bro. I'm sorry. That's a timeout. That's a timeout for 1 minute timeout, bro. Come on. We were being serious here.
He went to PSG. It's because he knew he couldn't be voted, however, the best player in the world. Because when you're playing with Messi, you're in the same team. He's the best.
Harry. Timeout. This is serious, bro. Like, come on.
You have to go to Paris.
Don't say he's
well done. Go to Paris. It's like you go to play for the local car park team. And they're knocking about. When the lights go out, let's have a look about. I want to be the best player in Southwark. How can I do that?
Dog and duck, mate. A good side.
Right, so you go there. The car park plays. The front lights come on. J.H. rocks up.
Yeah, they're so disrespectful. They're so disrespectful.
I don't think it is. To go to PSG to try and prove yourself as the best player. How deluded have you got to be? You stay at one of the biggest clubs in the world. You don't leave them.
Okay, hold on. If you want to go and say Neymar made a mistake to going to PSG and whatnot, even as in PSG, I'll go and hear that. Leaving Barca and whatnot. Okay, fine. But you're making it seem as though this guy went from, Barcelona to flipping, I don't know, York in the third tier of English football. PSG was routinely competing in the Champions League. Neymar took PSG to a Champions League final for crying out loud. What?
And he went there and he failed. Why? He's arrogant, selfish, self-obsessed, nothing about the team, nothing about it. It's about him. And that's the reason PSG, they become successful when the likes of him left. That's why they won the Champions League. And they brought him to go and win it. Honestly,
Okay, I mean, he's not wrong there. He's not wrong there.
Oh,
And nothing wrong
teams
with
got
Brazil. He never won a when he left Messi, he never won a major honour again. Brazil, PSG, both.
So hold on, I'd really like to go and ask him what exactly for him is a major honor. What exactly for him is a major honor? Like, if Ligue 1 clearly isn't a major honor, any domestic, so Coupe de France, none of that is a major honor, clearly. Okay. Well, any La Ligas and whatnot that you won that. So basically, the only major honor he could win is the Champions League for him. That's it. The Champions League is the only major honor. Okay. I mean, if that's the level, that's the heights you're getting to, then fine. I just think it's ridiculous. It's absurd.
League 1 in my face.
Let's go to Naz. He's a Man United fan, right, Naz?
Hi guys, how you doing?
All right, matey. How are you?
Okay, dang. I've heard enough of what he had to say. Let's go back to Liez. Let's go back to a more reasoned take here.
Image in their head. He's like just 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎 who played for Barcelona. I don't actually think they can properly grasp how good of a footballer he is. And maybe it's due to English culture in general being a bit more like dig your feet in and head down and just get the work and efficiency and humbleness, humility. Whereas Neymar is really none of that stuff, right? Neymar is like panache, and Neymar is an art, and Neymar is skills, and Neymar is entertainment, and Neymar is showboatery, and it just doesn't mesh well. But I genuinely have a really tough time speaking to people from the UK about Neymar precisely for what 𝙀𝙀𝘼𝑗 just said. How can we have a conversation about Neymar? And the first thing that comes to mind is, has he ever been liked? Respectfully, 𝙀𝙀𝘼, who gives a shit? Who cares if he's ever been liked? When has that ever mattered? Cristiano Ronaldo used to have the biggest like tag on his back in terms of being liked or not. After the World Cup, he's a pantomime villain in England. 𝙀𝙀𝘼, when have you ever been liked? You're a nasty guy, and we love you for it.
Thank you, bro. What? I didn't just realize that. Roy Keane is talking about being liked. Roy Keane of all people is coming, but was he ever liked? Roy Keane was. Oh my, Roy Keane. That's rage bait. Honestly, you know what, guys? Let's all clapping emojis to Roy Keane. To go and say, was he ever liked? Was he ever liked? Was he ever liked? Roy Keane saying that is top 5 rage baits of all time. Roy Keane saying that is top 5 rage baits of all time. The biggest hypocrite of all time. Wow. By the way, thank you, Flamingo, for the heart. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. That is top 5 rage baits of all time. Top 5 rage baits of all time. Oh my God.
Fans. We were probably hated by every fan base in the world. And I look at most of Man United's players. Since when has being liked had anything to do with how good of a footballer you are? But that's the thing with Neymar, right? This likability thing has always kind of followed him around like a bad stench. And when you compare him to Ronaldinho, for example, it's always a natural comparison with him. I honestly think that's the biggest differentiator when it comes to people liking Ronaldinho more than Neymar. It often hardly ever has to do with what they actually did in their career or what you like about their games more. So you're not actually breaking down football when it comes to Ronaldinho or Neymar. A lot of the time, the conversation is Ronaldinho's likability, right? The smile, the personality, everything about Ronaldinho is just more endearing to you than Neymar. And I hear it, right? Like how you are liked, like people who are more likable will always be perceived in a better light than someone who might not be. And the biggest example of that right now is Mikel Arteta compared to Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho had a persona about him that made him more likable to people, which means he can get away with saying things or doing things more than someone who's doing the same exact thing but isn't liked as much. And sometimes that is a persona, sometimes it's an aesthetic thing. Sometimes people who look better are just liked more, right? You can get away with certain stuff. We call it pretty privilege. Obviously, I'm not saying it's the Neymar Ronaldinho thing. If anything, it's the opposite. But I don't know. Sometimes
That's true.
Wrong when you're talking about how good of a footballer someone is or how good they are in general at the sport, how great they are, that we bring stuff into this. Like likability should be so far down in the list of what makes a great footballer a great footballer. The biggest example being Vinicius Jr., right? He's going to suffer similar to Neymar towards the end of his career in a different way because his trophy cabinet, his resume is really stacking up. But there will always be that likability thing with Vinicius in terms of people complaining about his showboating and his celebrations and his rolling around and his theatrics. But it shouldn't matter because when you look at Vinicius as a footballer, that's the most important thing about his game, his actual game. But when it comes to I just think certain things always, but they're ugly heads.
Oh, sorry, you guys can't see it.
The same thing at times with Jude Bellingham. It just shouldn't matter, man. We're talking about how good someone is. You're asking about his likability. Who gives a toss?
He left Barca and it was just all a bit. I think you all got the impression it was again very much about money and maybe he wasn't a team player at PSG. It was, and I know these lads can be selfish. You can be selfish in the right way. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, he was never kind of that likable, was he? Am I wrong with that?
No, I'm not interested.
How many Premier League players in history?
Thank you, right? I'm happy you said that. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, there you go. Respect Ian Wright. There's no point in bringing out, was he liked so on and so forth. It has nothing to do with it.
Let's talk about their game. Let's actually talk about how good of a footballer he is. Facts. It's all nonsense. Talk about likability. Right, Kane, we're not gonna get very far if we're talking about likability here, bro. Let's be honest with you. I love you because you're Man United captain, legend. But we're not gonna get very far with you if we're talking about likability. We're not gonna get far with Giggs. We're not gonna get far with Cristiano Ronaldo. We're Man United, we're the most disliked club in the world. So let's not talk about likability here. Let's talk about your actual football.
We watch
Thierry
Champions
Henry,
League.
Ronaldo.
What about money?
Yo, Liez, grand respect à toi, grand respect. That was impeccable timing for the Woo! Wow. No, let's play that again. No, let's play it normal speed.
Ronaldo.
What about money? What about money?
Hazard. Okay.
Oh, bro, generational emo, bro, generational sound. So the timing, impeccable. Impeccable timing. Impeccable timing for the fa. Impeccable timing.
I'll put Hazard.
He would be better.
One more time.
What about Manny?
Hazard.
Oh my gosh. No, Ryan, you're killing me with the lip gloss. What about money? Man. Oh my gosh. Oh. La 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 la. Oh boy. Okay. Let's get back up. Let's be serious. Let's be serious here. Come on. Let's be serious.
He would be better.
Jesus Christ, man. Oh, man. That right there. What Wayne Rooney said is the most egregious thing. When Neymar is now getting compared to Mane is just... And I love Mane.
Yeah, respect Mane.
One of the greatest players to ever leave that continent. What he's done for Liverpool. He had a peak, honestly, that was incredible. But Sadio Mane over Neymar. Are we even watching the games anymore? I love Mane, but let's be respectful here. Let's have it right. Mane can't chat to Neymar. He can't. And this is where, honestly, I want to talk about Neymar. Because this conversation gets brought up every once in a while surrounding him. And it pains me to really see what this guy's career is almost being brought down to. I've seen someone say on social media that Neymar is either always super overrated or super underrated. And I actually hear that. But one thing I will say is I will always rather be on the side of being accused of overrating Neymar than underrating him. Because I'm sorry, he's way closer to being one of the best footballers I've ever seen than the nonsense I hear him get brought down to.
Merci Léez. Merci. Là on parle football. Là on parle la langue de Molière. Now we're speaking English. Thank you. Now we're speaking the Queen's English. Thank you. Honestly, I'd rather overrate Neymar than going comparing him to flipping Mane, guys. Neymar da Silva Santos is being compared to Mane in the big 2026. 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏, les gars. 𝙎𝙊𝘾𝘼𝘾𝘼. Oh. If I'm called a Neymar Glazer, then so be it. If I'm called a Neymar Glazer for going and saying he's the third best player of all time, then so be it. I'd rather that than having to compare him to Mane. Les gars, arrêtons.
In terms of being compared to 𝙀𝙬𝙖𝙞𝙀 today. I remember a few years ago comparing to Rashford. Excuse me? England hasn't produced a player like Neymar, maybe ever, right? But especially not in the modern era. None of the current crop can chat in from this era. But even when we're actually talking about Neymar, here's the biggest issue with it, right? And let's have an honest conversation. Let's stick away from what he do after Barca. Forget about all that. Let's just talk about him as a footballer here. Neymar, in terms of actual ability, how good of a footballer he is, his natural talent. Guys, Neymar is one of the greatest natural talents football has ever produced. Ever.
Merci. Thank you.
And if you disagree with that, then you shouldn't call him overrated. Because the reason Neymar was viewed as a potential best player in the world, and the reason why people got annoyed when he left Barcelona, and the reason why people are annoyed
The fast voice is annoying me. I'm watching. I'll slow it down. I'll play at normal speed. It's just that otherwise, because this video is 28 minutes long, but I'll play at normal speed.
For a World Cup. And the reason people think that he underachieved is because the expectation for Neymar was so high that falling anything below that is now deemed a failure. The reason people think Neymar underachieved is because he doesn't have numerous Ballon d'Ors. The reason Neymar underachieved in the eyes of people is because
it's at 1.5 now.
World Cup for Brazil, because that was the lofty expectation. Neymar's talent, just his natural, pure, innate footballing ability, is the closest we have seen to the likes of Ronaldo and Messi since, I don't know, are we talking maybe Zidane or R9? That's how good he is. Some people might even say he's a better natural talent than they are, just purely natural talent.
That's not ridiculous to say. That's not ridiculous to say. That is not crazy to say. Saying Neymar is a bigger natural talent, natural pure footballing talent than Ronaldo is not crazy to say. It be like even Messi. That's not ridiculous to say. I'm not saying I'm saying that. I'm not saying okay. So don't shoot the messenger. Okay. I'm just saying if you go and say that, that's not ridiculous to say. Do we agree, chat? Chat, can I get an amen in the chat? That's not ridiculous to say. To say that Neymar is arguably one of, if not the most naturally gifted talent the world of football has ever seen, or up there amongst the top three, is not ridiculous to say. It's not crazy. Yes. That's not ridiculous to say. Thank you. That's not ridiculous. Okay. But Junior, what is pure footballing talent? Shooting from 30 yards out is also talent. You know, Neymar is defo top 3. Okay, Neymar over Cristiano, he just doesn't have the accolades. Yeah, okay, so pure footballing, that we will agree. It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous.
Years old. So that was the standard we held him to. That's the lofty ambition we held him to. This is a player who was so gifted, who was so good, who was so talented that if everything in his career went perfectly, injuries, transfer decisions, I don't know, lifestyle decisions, if he fulfilled the max potential he could have, Neymar is going down as like one of, we're talking about his legacy, one of the greats, top 5 maybe even. That's how naturally gifted he was. Because he didn't end his career, like Rooney said, at the Messi and Ronaldo era, we hold that against him and we hit him with the stick because he didn't receive that level of potential. But in doing so, we also then hold that against him when comparing him to players that were never held to that standard. So when we compare now Neymar to Mane, or Neymar to Salah, or Neymar to anybody else, we're holding Neymar to the idea that he failed to reach his potential. But that's only because his potential was way higher than Mane, than Salah, than Hazard, than any of these other guys. They never were compared in the same breath as Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. They never been viewed in the same echelon as those guys. They never even had the talent to reach those guys. So Neymar was down because of that standard he failed to reach. But then we don't measure it accordingly the far inferior players to him. So Neymar failed because he didn't reach Messi and Ronaldo. Salah is a huge success because he massively overachieved compared to what he should have been. Therefore, we're allowed to put them on the same bracket. I'm sorry, I find that ridiculous. I honestly find that ridiculous. Like, Neymar's failure of a career is only a failure because of what he could have been. He could have been a multi-time Ballon d'Or winner. He could have been a World Cup winner for the greatest national team in history. He could have been a guy with numerous Champions Leagues. Yes, he could have achieved that, and he probably should have achieved that if his career goes the way it should have. Like, if every player has a perfect career in terms of they make every right choice every single time in their career, Neymar should be looking at an almost perfect, flawless career. With his ability, he should have. But I'm sorry, that shouldn't mean that in conversations with inferior players, that gets held against him. It should just mean that, yeah, you can't chat to Ronaldo and Messi and those guys. Fair enough. But I'm sorry.
Fine, yeah.
Compare him to with all due respect, because I love De Bruyne, I love Hazard, I love Salah. For me, he's a brilliant player. Those guys are all great. But I'm sorry, being not good enough for Messi and Ronaldo doesn't now all of a sudden mean that these guys can surpass you as well too. Because
exactly.
If you still look at Neymar's career, it's still an unbelievable career. It is.
Exactly.
He won Champions League. He was part of the greatest front three I've ever seen. He's Brazil's all-time top scorer, the greatest footballing nation of all time that has produced Pelé, Romario, Zico, Ronaldo Phenomenal, Ronaldinho, Kaká. You name it, they got it. He sits at the very top in terms of goals scored. All of a sudden, that's a failed career. Champions League winner is a failed career. How many goals and assists he's got in his career is a failed career. But let's call it as it is. Neymar's career is only failed because he should have done more. If you look at it just relative, it's an unbelievable career. It's a career that if any current England player ever retires with that in mind, it's an unbelievable career that they've had. But I think that's where it gets mixed up.
No. It's not unbelievable. It's the greatest English footballing career ever. If any English-born player had that same career, it's the greatest English career ever. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. A Confederations Cup, an Olympic gold medal for the country, being your all-time top goal scorer, all-time assist provider for the nation. Big performances. You turn up in the big games. The 2021 Copa America final, even though they lost it. Every single Argentine saying Neymar was on a different planet. That's just the international career. You go and you look at what he did for Santos then. Winning the Copa Libertadores, winning only the second time in Santos' career. Going and finishing top 10 in a flipping Ballon d'Or whilst playing in South America. Not playing in Europe. Then everything he did in Europe, multi-time top 5 podium player, top 5 finisher in the Ballon d'Or, treble with Barcelona, goals and assists galore. Guys, that would be easily the greatest English career of all time. Easily.
PSG move, I think, is something that didn't help him in terms of his reputation. I personally think that his idea that he was better at Barcelona is a bit flawed. The only reason people think he was better at Barcelona is because they watched him more at Barcelona. Let's have it right. That's another thing with the English people, right? They don't watch Ligue 1, and that's fine, right?
Voilà, that's true. Merci, Léez. Merci, parler français. Merci, thank you.
But then you shouldn't be speaking on something you've never seen. I'm willing to bet I probably watched Neymar play more for PSG than Ian Wright, Roy Keane, Wayne Rooney, Jill Scott, and Gary Neville, excuse me. I'm willing to bet I probably watched him play more for PSG than they did. Because they probably saw him on big nights in the Champions League where he was either injured or the team lost. And that's probably it. They weren't watching him against Marseille. They weren't watching him in the Liga matches. And that's fine. But then you can't talk about his career post-Barcelona. It upset you that he went to PSG because you think that a player of that level should have either been playing in the Premier League or playing for one of the big two in Spain. And that's a fair opinion to have. I think the biggest problem with Neymar going there is the lack of exposure on that league. That's true, right? He wasn't playing in big Classico games anymore. He wasn't playing in big six fixtures where the entire world is watching. He was playing in a less televised league. Completely fair and objective criticism to have of it. But in terms of his level going down when he went there, him being less of a player, I'm of the opinion Neymar was better at PSG than he was at Barcelona. I think if you actually watched him there, and it's normal, right?
Neymar's of that opinion too, by the way. Let's listen. I don't know. I think it's only Barca fans who will go and try to push that narrative. But Neymar himself, when the player himself goes and says that if you truly know ball, you will know that I was better at PSG. My best years were at PSG. The debate's done. The debate's done. And this is not like what reason does he have to go and say that? Yeah, my better years were at PSG.
He joined PSG at 25. What footballer do you know that the peak's at 25? You usually peak at 26, 27, 28, 29. Those are the years he spent in Ligue 1. So I just think with Neymar, it's never actually a fair conversation to have. I always find it to be so... It just doesn't come from a good place, in my opinion. I really don't. Now, the ultimate question is peak Neymar better than any other player the Premier League produced? I don't know, right? Let me say a few of the names that they said. Right, he said Hazard. You guys know I love Hazard. Hazard's not better than Neymar. Maybe anything, by the way, right? But he's not better than Neymar. I don't even know how that's even a conversation. Whatever.
There's not. I mean, I was on a TikTok live with it was JS, who's a Chelsea fan. I mean, a Chelsea fan and let me not try to get banned and let's say anything bad. A Hazard appreciator, a very big Hazard appreciator. Okay. Was going and telling me that in terms of, ball progression, dribbles, that actually, Neymar and Hazard are comparable. Again, I'll go back to the quote that I said early on in the stream. A wise man once said, if you debate with a fool, the only thing you're proving is that there are two. So I will not say any more on that subject. Neymar is clear of Hazard.
Criticism people have of Hazard, which I find unfair. Neymar did more than Hazard. He scored more goals than him, which is a big criticism of Hazard. He's more productive in terms of assists than he was. He performed in Europe, which Hazard, that's his biggest stain on his career. Statistically, he's a better dribbler, although the two of them have very different dribbling styles. He's a better passer than Hazard. He's a better playmaker than Hazard. He's a better player than Hazard. And I love Hazard. Hazard's one of my favorite players ever. Neymar's better than him. Sadio Mane. I'm sorry, what is Sadio Mane better than Neymar at? He's stronger than him. I'll give him that. In terms of being robust, in terms of tracking back and defending. Outside of that, what is he better than Neymar at? I'm not, maybe in the air? I'm not so sure. Mohamed Salah, I'm sorry. When you compare him and Neymar as footballers, I don't even think we're talking about the same sport. I'm being genuinely serious. Salah has overachieved so much in his career and accomplished so much, right? Salah's an example of someone who maximized everything in his career. I'm sorry, when you're comparing the two of them, I just don't find them to be similar footballers whatsoever. And that's fine, they're different, right? Salah's a better goal scorer than Neymar is, but that's where the comparison ends. I'm sorry, Neymar is superior to him in almost every single other attribute. Then we go to Wayne Rooney. And again, Wayne Rooney is my favorite ever Man United player. Flat out. I love the guy. I will vouch for him over 99.9% of footballers. And I thought about this a lot, but I'm sorry, I don't think Neymar's one of them. I don't. And that's, again, you can't accuse me of bias here. This is my favorite Man United player ever. I got a signed shirt in my back right here. But what does Wayne Rooney have over Neymar? They've won the same amount of Champions Leagues. You could argue Neymar won it as not the main guy on his team. Neither did Wayne Rooney. As much as I love Rooney, he was effectively, it was a Cristiano Ronaldo's team. Wayne Rooney was part of that team. He was part of a great front three. Neymar was part of a great front three. I actually think if you compare Wayne Rooney and Neymar, there's a lot of similarities in there, man. I genuinely do think they are. They're both wonder kids that at 17, 18 years old took football by storm. They were the main man. Everyone knew their name at such a young age. And both of them get hit with a stick that they didn't achieve what ultimately they should have done. That's ultimately the thing with Rooney. He could have been so much more. Rooney should have been on Messi and Ronaldo's level if he actually took himself seriously and he was more fit and all of that stuff. The same stuff gets thrown at Neymar. If anything, Neymar trumps him international-wise because Wayne Rooney, bar Euro 2004, doesn't have a single international tournament that you could stack up to how good of a player he was. He was relatively a disappointment at tournaments for England. So when there you go. Neymar and Rooney, then you get into attributes. I think Rooney's a better goal scorer, even though Neymar has scored more goals than him, which is crazy enough as is. I just think Neymar, man, I genuinely think people underrate how good at football he is. I think people look at him and think this is just a trickster. This is just a skillful guy. He's a showboat. Even as goal scorer, I mean, maybe that's is Wayne Rooney bias coming in about. But I think Neymar's a better goal scorer than Rooney. But that's a topic for another day. Neymar's so much more than that. Guys, Neymar's left foot is probably better than most footballers, right? The passes he can play with his left are ridiculous. The space he can create for himself with just a little feint to then open the game up completely for his teammates is outrageous. When he translated into that number 10, when he went to PSG, the guy was running games on his own. When it comes to playmaking, weight of pass, vision, the guy's vision is on a different level. Then when it comes to taking his man on, it's the best player we've seen 1v1 since bar Messi. That's the best player we've seen in that sense since Ronaldinho. Then you add the efficiency that maybe Ronaldinho didn't always have throughout his career. Then you think about the fact that he's also been doing it for a long time now, Neymar. I know the last few years have definitely not done the way he wants, but his longevity, he's done it longer than Ronaldinho has. I think the one thing you can really throw at Neymar, honestly, and it's ultimately why he gets put into these unfair conversations, is he doesn't have enough moments for someone as good as he is. Neymar, for his quality, has probably underachieved in terms of big moments and silverware and individual awards compared to players that also had his skill level. So when you think of the most gifted players of all time, you're thinking of the Zidanes, you're thinking of the Ronaldinhos, you're thinking of the Messis, Ronaldos, you're thinking of the R9s. Did I say R9? I don't think I did. R9s, you're thinking of the Cruyffs, you're thinking of the Maradonas. Those S-tier level players. When you look at all of those guys, they have either Ballon d'Ors, or they have World Cups, or they have numerous Champions Leagues, or they have defining moments in their career, right? They do. With Neymar, that's the one thing that I always think, unfortunately, you can always hit him with because he doesn't have a Ballon d'Or. Now, does he have a Ballon d'Or on his own fault? Probably not. He literally played in the most competitive era when it comes to the Ballon d'Or in history. It was dominated by the two arguably greatest players in the history of the game. How many of those great players I previously mentioned would have won Ballon d'Ors in that era? Probably not that many. So that hits him. With the World
None. Let's be honest. None. Okay.
World Cup, I think he's unfortunate in that sense because compared to the Ronaldinhos and the R9s and the Pelés, his Brazil team is the weakest maybe ever, right? He has really carried the flag for that national team for a decade plus. And
again, we don't harp on this side. I'm sorry. Neymar was going into World Cups with Fred and Joe as their starting strikers. What? What do you want him to do? No disrespect to Fred and Joe, but what can he do?
It's not really his fault that he never had the squad to compete all the way. And then when you look at the Champions League, I think that's really the one. When he went to PSG, a big part of that was he had to win the Champions League, especially because, like I said, people were really going to be paying attention in the Champions League when it came to PSG. And he just couldn't get it done. Whether that was due to him missing big games through injury or other reasons, that's a big thing against him. Whether it was the 2020 Champions League final, which I personally don't think he turned up for, that's another thing. So And that's ultimately what will always go against Neymar. Those other players, you can criticize Zidane's consistency, you can criticize Ronaldinho's goal scoring, you can criticize, I don't know, you can find a criticism for every player, but you always had something you could fall back on with those guys. You can always say Zidane had 2002, he had the World Cup. You can always say R9 had 2002. You can always say Ronaldinho had the Champions League. You can always say that. With Neymar, you're always kind of grasping for that one thing that you can fall back on. It's like an irrefutable fact about his career. It's foolproof. Neymar's missing that. But honestly, I just find some of the conversations about how good of a footballer he actually is nauseating to listen to, because I genuinely don't think some people have even 10% of a clue how good of a guy this guy was in terms of a player. I think he's that good. And ultimately, I always say Neymar's legacy is not defined by what he won, but rather what he's leaving behind. Because honestly, the amount of players I speak to or that I've heard say took inspiration from their game from Neymar. You're looking at Lamine Yamal, in my eyes, the best player in the world at 18 years old. Go ask him who his inspiration was. It's Neymar in every sense of the word, in terms of his celebrations, his flair, the way he wants to play the game, the way he expresses himself, his hairstyle. It's Neymar through and through. `𝙬𝙬 is the biggest Neymar stand on the planet, flat out. Musiala has told me to my face, Neymar was the guy for him. You look it throughout. Neymar. He has this generation by a chokehold. He is the first modern YouTube footballer that everyone discovered on a computer screen rather than a TV. So his legacy is painted by the players that come after him. And ultimately, that's a legacy that will never die. He is for sure one of the most memorable, unforgettable footballers ever. But just in terms of quality, I think some of the conversations he gets put into now, because people feel like he underachieved, are just downright disrespectful. I truly do. And now to finish the conversation, is his prime better than any single Premier League players ever? It's tough to say. Because for me, the two greatest players in Premier League history, or the two best rather, are Cristiano Ronaldo and Thierry Henry. And I think the best version of Neymar is certainly up there when it comes to...
The best version of Neymar is better than the best version of Premier League Henry and Premier League Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro.
Like, you can certainly have that argument. I'm not going to be the one that disrespects Henry and disrespects Premier League Cristiano Ronaldo, because I think those two were sensational.
I mean, it's not being disrespectful. If you say a fact, again, I say this with all due respect. I think he's better than 2008 Henry. 17-18 Neymar. I speak for myself. We're going full screen. I speak for myself and myself only. If you disagree, that's up to you. That's fine by me. 17-18 Neymar for me. And for reference, I started watching football seriously in 13-14. 17-18 Neymar is that period from when, like, August to February, that 7-month span, is the greatest peak of football I've ever seen. Better than 14-15 Messi, better than 18-19 Messi, better than 16-17 Ronaldo, but in 13-14 Ronaldo, it's the best I've seen. I wasn't really tuned in to, 2011-12 Messi, 2012 Ronaldo and whatnot. But for me, that version of him, it's better. It's better. Not better than 12-13. Then I'm not saying, but I wasn't really watching him like that. So I don't know. That I've seen. So I've started watching, we'll say 13-14 onwards. For me, 17-18 Neymar is the best version. Is the highest peak I've seen. Is the highest peak I've seen.
Footballers, and just like Neymar, their legacy is painted in the players that came after them as well as having done it in this league. But I don't think it's that crazy to say that Neymar could potentially be at their level, if not better. I think that's where Neymar belongs. I think the best version of Cristiano Ronaldo came in La Liga, but Premier League version,
exactly,
and then Henry at Arsenal. I don't think it's crazy to say the best version of Neymar can certainly chat to them, if not even go a little further. I think he's that good.
Exactly. There you go. I think
overrating him. That's perfectly plausible. Neymar, I continue to say, is the most polarizing player I've ever seen in football. It's ridiculous. A player of that level, the views are so extreme from one way to the other. He is, for me, the most misunderstood footballer ever. I think people completely misunderstand his game, but he will continue to be one of the players I will always go to bat for. I will always defend this guy. And like I said, if I'm getting accused of overrating him, I will always rather take the stance of overrating him than underrating him the way I see other people do. I think I'm certainly closer to the truth overrating him than the opposite. But that's my thoughts. No shade to anyone on the overlap. I got mad love for Ian Wright. I got mad love for Wayne Rooney. Roy Keane is my captain. Gary Neville, fantastic broadcaster and fantastic footballer. Jill Scott, I've never interacted with her, and unfortunately I'm not too familiar with her career, but again, nothing but respect for her as well too. Nothing but respect for anyone on this table at all. Football's a game of opinions. But ultimately, I have the right as well too to think an opinion is nonsense. And I think some of the opinions said on this table by these guys,
let's call it a spade. These were low key. These cakes should be put in front of a footballing tribunal. That is disgusting to say some of those takes.
I also think they're just uneducated. I don't think they're coming from a background of really having watched a lot of Neymar's career. I think a lot of it is painted in stigmas and stereotypes that people throw at him typically, and I think they've watched a handful of his games to build up a narrative in their heads. But I don't think a lot of it is shrouded in knowledge. I think a lot of it is shrouded in agenda. That's where I stand on the debate. Let me know where you do in the comment section down below.
All right. That's it. Shout out Liaz. Make sure if you guys aren't already, if you guys watch me, you guys must know Liaz. Go watch him, Liaz Bouzidi, more Liaz on YouTube. Follow him on all the social platforms. I think he's an excellent creator, one of the best, especially in this time of space. And if in the future, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'd love to be able to work with him or collaborate with him in any capacity in the future. But guys, That's it, man. At least thank you, a fellow Neymar admirer, a fellow Neymar stan. I was kidding. Hey, let's go to. I agree. Bring people out. Okay, I'll try to go. So we could. Okay, I'll do 2. Thing is, I can bring people up, or we can watch. Either I've not watched this one yet. I've watched this one in my own time. I watched this yesterday. Or we can do the one-on-ones. It's up to you guys. And you guys can get my reactions also, like what I was saying, and if I would change anything and whatnot. So either we bring people up. Video. I watched it. It was great. ASMR. The thing is, though, is that I can't, if you're on YouTube, well, unfortunately, you can't come on. But I will be having a look at YouTube chat. But the only thing is, it's going to take me a while probably to figure out the audio routing for it. But if I do bring people on, I think I'll do a maximum of 2 people on. Otherwise, it gets too hectic. And then I can't end the discussion. The game is not a serious league. Why are they canceling games for PSG so they can win champions? Well, if it's not a serious league, so then what difference does it make if they're canceling games? Right? If your claim is that if it's not a serious league, then what difference does it make? After seeing how we performed in the round of 16, I believe we can smack Liverpool. Listen, I'm not going to go and get too I mean, I think we do beat Liverpool. Smacking them, no. Are PSG second in the league right now? I think currently they are, because I know Lens won. But PSG has, like 2 games in hand currently. So Lens, I think Lens like smacked. Yeah, they smacked 𝙀𝙬. Won 5-1. So they're first currently. But PSG has two games in hand. 27 to 25. So if PSG win both their games, they go 4 points clear. How long have I been live for? 2 hours? Interesting. People up, then vid. Well, if I bring people up, it's probably... I'm just trying to think for the routing of this. I think we'll be able to figure it out. How long is a vid? Well, it depends which vid. I mean, there's 4 in total. There's like my solo one where I talk about just PSG stuff, which is as long as it's 41 minutes. And all the other ones are 30 minutes long. Junior doing ASMR now. Nah, it's just chips. Honestly, these are somewhat like Thai sweet chicken. These are really good. ×2, but people don't. I'll probably do it time 1.5. I just watched your Go Fan Zone video. So, okay, chat. Would you guys rather me bring people on from TikTok, go say your takes or say whatever it is, or would you want me to go and watch the either one of my Goal Fan Zone videos and discuss it, I'd like to speak. Okay, what time is it? I'll give you. You should go there more. I mean, I did. That's all I'll say. I did. Discuss. As you want me to bring people up, bring me on. YouTube. Thing is, as a creator, I prefer YouTube. But for this live streaming stuff on YouTube, I can't bring you on. Unfortunately, like if you want to be able to go and speak, you won't be able to do so. Even though on YouTube, the quality is better. I think the controls are better. It's just easier to set up and whatnot. It's also a pain as well. But on the flip side, I can't bring people up and speak to them and whatnot. Okay, I'll leave this to a vote. Put a 1. You want me to react to one of these Goal Fan Zone videos for which I made an appearance on, or 2, if you want me to bring people up from TikTok. Two, one, 2. Bring people up on Discord. I could bring people up on Discord. Okay, I'll do that for a bit. I'll bring people up then. The only thing though is gonna be like I'm gonna have to hold on. I'm gonna have to like change my whole audio setup now. All right, let's do that now. It's a merch channel. All right, so what is it that you guys want to talk about? How the Premier League is on fraud watch? Because I also want to know the topic, though. Neymar. Both. All right, Kevin. I'll bring you on. We'll say 10 minutes for now as a start. And then we'll see from then. Okay. Let me bring you. Hold on. Let me come to here. Because I want people on YouTube and whatnot to be able to hear you too. Okay, thus far I don't have any feedback. Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
What's up, Junior?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm not doing well after listening to that. I'm not doing well. Ouch. That felt like getting waterboarded for 40 minutes. Like just blasphemy. Like it has to be put on some, like what you were saying, some sort of like tribunal.
Yeah, it has to be put on trial, bro.
It's ridiculous.
Has to come with a warning.
I have a little bit of a different take, actually. I was actually talking to Ryan about Prince Ryan. You know Prince Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent him the video when it first came out, and he was like that's why, like when I said that's why Wayne Rooney failed as a coach, because like he clearly doesn't know he doesn't know anything outside of his own league, which I think is disingenuous if you're starting to talk about other players.
Exactly.
You put Neymar in the like you said, he's absolutely tearing everything away. and low-key might like he might like sit down all Premier League defenders and make them look like piss.
Oh, Neymar, if anything, he'd be stopped in the Prem. He'd be, burnt at the stake.
I also do think this might be a little crazy. I do think it is a little bit of racism from like internalized racism from how they view non-English players.
So you think it's xenophobic? That like it's
yeah.
I wouldn't say it's racism because, well, then why are they rating people like Mane and Salah?
No. It's more like you're cool if you play in my league, but if you're not.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so xenophobic or it's a superiority complex, you'd say.
It's superiority complex.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That
I wasn't using the like right term.
Yeah. No, yeah. On that, I agree.
You take any one of Neymar's seasons at Barca, at PSG, whatever you want. You put it past 2021, he wins the Ballon d'Or 10 times. Like he wins the next 5 Ballon d'Ors.
Exactly, I agree. And it's hold on, you were saying that like because they said specifically to the Premier League alone. In that time span, every single one of those players on that list, all the players that they started naming, bar Ronaldo, none of them won a Ballon d'Or.
Exactly.
So
what is this? What is this?
This gimmick of oh my.
And furthermore, you talk about the Prem being the best league in the world. Whatever. There's only one English team, and that's almost because they almost bottled it to Galatasaray.
Two. Arsenal and Liverpool currently.
Arsenal and Liverpool. Arsenal getting Leverkusen, who they struggled against, and everyone thought that they were absolutely going to run riot. Granted, there was the same view of Madrid, but that's a whole different conversation. I just think it's disingenuous for them to think the Prem is the best team in the world, when also non-English teams didn't really win the UCL in that time span that like Neymar was around and stuff like that. None of them really won it. Like if they're the best league in the world, shouldn't they consistently be producing teams that win the UCL?
Exactly.
That's ridiculous to like even try and compare that the Prem is the best league in the world and they can't beat the best teams in La Liga or the Bundesliga or Liga. That's ridiculous.
I agree.
I also just think the Prem is also on fraud watch. Let's be honest here.
I mean, certainly this season. Have we seen how like right now, currently the Premier League is trying to save face, with regards to why all the Premier teams got knocked out. So like them and Opta came out with the statistic going and saying that the reason that so many Premier teams got knocked out is because the like average quality of the league like teams in the Premier League. So like the Brentfords is better than like half of like the teams in every other European top 5 leagues. And so the fact that they're having to play so many high intensity games all the time and whatnot is what's done them. The thing is though, is that when the 6 Premier League teams got there to begin with, they were saying the Premier is the best, the Premier is the best, the Premier is this, the Premier is that. All of a sudden these Premier League teams gets knocked out, 𝙎𝙬𝙖𝙞, all of a sudden now they want to go and say, nah, actually, it's because of, it's because of the past to play so many hard games. So like, which is it?
Yeah, like you can't. Also, like someone like Barcelona, literally, like look at their schedule. They have to play Atletico Madrid 3 times in 2 weeks. Those are hard games, and I think they have to play. I forget someone else, but it's like a tricky game for Barcelona. If you watch La Liga, I forget who it is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's always one of those teams that gives Barcelona trouble. You know what I mean? So like that's disingenuous to say that because other teams have hard games in the league. Because someone like Getafe just beat Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah, I don't like that gimmick. The Premier League is just not doing well this season, and they just can't admit that because it's too hard for them to admit that. It hurts their soul. And honestly, I might be crazy. If Barca and Arsenal play in the semifinal, I see Arsenal crumbling. I totally can see it.
You see Arsenal, really?
Out of all the teams in the Prem that would crumble, it would be Arsenal. Like, they have no pedigree.
I mean, true, but you could have said that about PSG last season against Liverpool. Okay, maybe PSG, not PSG against Arsenal.
PSG is also the consistent champions of their respected competition, if that makes sense.
But now Arsenal, this is what, 3 years now on the bounce where they made it to at least a quarterfinal.
Yeah, but then they got bounced by PSG.
True. But as in the whole Champions League pedigree and whatnot, like, what would you say? No, I wouldn't say. But like, you can go into like currently around Barca and Arsenal, like the squads themselves, the Champions League pedigree is pretty similar. Bar maybe what you'd say, what, Lewandowski for Barca. No players won the Champions League.
Yeah.
I think maybe Chesney win it. But as in, like, it's similar, right? Barcelona, the 2 years before that, okay, they got knocked out by PSG in the quarters. They got knocked out last year in the semis. So similar. In fact, they had the exact same, like, they went as far as each other in the last 2 seasons and whatnot. And then the 2 years before that, Barcelona was in the wilderness in the Europa League. So they're not all that too dissimilar in Europe.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. I just... But the fact that Arsenal has like crumbled 2 seasons in a row to Man City kind of says all I like think about Arsenal, if that makes sense.
But why would you think that right now Barca would beat Arsenal? Because I think the opposite. I think currently, unless things change, even though as much as I'm not too friendly with Barca. I want Barca to go through, but I think Arsenal currently would be Barca.
I also like. They were just not convincing against Leverkusen, who should be like easy, in my opinion. Like Arsenal should have battered Leverkusen, just like Bayern did to Atalanta. You understand what I mean? Like, they were first in the Champions League, they were perfect in the Champions League, and then they get to the knockout stages and they look shaky.
I mean, true, but you could have said that, for example, of PSG. They should have smacked Monaco and they beat them by 1 goal and nearly conceded at the very end there. Yeah, and then look what they did to Chelsea. Like, ultimately, the most important thing is that you get through, not how you get through. All right.
But I do feel that there is, how do I say this? There's like, just like I think Barcelona would have an easier time against. I can't think of a team right now, but I know Atletico is going to give them more problems than a lot of other teams would because they play each other so much. That sort of, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. Like, they play each other in the league. They face each other consistently.
I mean, you can make that argument, but you could also say that makes things easier because they also know what to expect. Whereas when you play somebody that you don't play often, there's a surprise.
Yeah.
So the argument can go both ways, but no, I hear it. I hear it.
I do think it is going to be interesting to see how. I'm most excited to just see that Bayern Madrid game. I'm just really excited for that because that's really going to be a true test for both teams. Because I do think Madrid is starting to pick up form right when they need to. Also, they're getting a lot of their players back. I think Militao will be at the second game. I mean, they just lost Courtois, but also I do think they have one of the best, if not the best, backup keepers in the world, in Lunin.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's not like, to me, it's not that big of a drawback.
Fair enough. True.
So I'm interested to see what happens there. I really want to see Bayern's front three tested against someone like Madrid.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Awesome, man, Kevin. Thank you for coming on, though. Thank you. Awesome.
Of course. Thank you.
Pleasure. See you next time. Bye.
Pleasure.
Awesome. What a lot, man. What a lot. Let me see here. Barca has more X factors in their team, and Barca knows how to win trophies more than Arsenal. Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Fermin Lopez, Pedri, even Lewa. These are big game players, bro. As in, yeah, I would agree with you on the point that they've got X factors, but then I'll go and say that, like, okay, with this current team and whatnot, okay, I'll give you Madrid and whatnot. which Arsenal have also been able to go and beat. Name me the other big teams. Like, name me the statement, Barcelona, big game performance, big win against a European heavyweight in these last 2 years. They'll struggle. Like, as soon as it's not, the Spanish cameras aren't on and whatnot, I'll give you what Bayern last season, a brand new, freshly, newly made Vincent Company Bayern, but that's about it. And even that Bayern team, like, for perspective, Barcelona thus far is yet to beat a team that finished in the top 8 in the Champions League. Can't believe Junior's defending. I mean, I just think that, like, even across that Liverpool leg, like, Barca still looked vulnerable at times. Like, ultimately they went and won, but you go and you look at the fact that, like, Newcastle, they scored twice. There were still opportunities. It was 1-1 in the first game. Arguably, Barca should have lost that game, and it was for a very, very deserved penalty, yes, but a fortunate one, I'll go and say, for Barcelona. You go and you look at, like, at least with Arsenal, you can say they've beaten Inter Milan, they've beaten Atletico Madrid like Barca have, they've beaten Real Madrid like Barca have as well. But they've also beaten PSG, for example, last year. They've beaten Bayern this season. They've got those statement wins against the big heavyweights. They've got the wins against the Premier League clubs as well. Barca do not have that, I don't think. And I think just the physio, like what Arsenal could do. I don't think Arsenal is great, is spectacular going forwards, but they're still good enough to go and cause them issues. All right. Barbara Singers. I'll go and rise people later on. But I did say I was going to go and watch my fan zone. By the way, this is the Discord. So if you guys want to go and join it here, make sure to go and do so. It's in the description and in the links on TikTok. But chat, which of these should I go and watch? Of these 4? I've not seen this one. So if I watch this one, I'd be watching it live with you guys. I've seen this one myself. I've reacted and uploaded my reaction to this one, and I've recorded a reaction to this one, but I'm still in the process of editing it. So which of these 4 should I go and have? Let's say label this 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me zoom in. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Put your number. Which one should I do? So this one I've not seen at all yet. This one I've seen, but not like reacted to. This one I've seen, reacted to, haven't uploaded. This one I've seen, reacted to, uploaded, and it's posted. Which one should I do? 3, 1. Three, 1, 1, 3, 1. Okay, I think it's the 1v1 one. Okay, I think I'll do this one then, because I haven't seen it at all yet. All right, let's go then. Hold on. Let me get prepared. Let me stop with the ASMR so you guys can actually listen. And also, I need to change my microphone here for you guys on TikTok. What is this here? Barca haven't faced a lot of big teams. So they faced PSG and Chelsea, Bayern. One lost to apart from Real Madrid. No, they played Inter last year and they couldn't beat them. So as in the only and even that Bayern one, I'll give you Bayern. There's no issues with Bayern, but that was a fresh Bayern. They just got company, and it wasn't like a crazy Bayern either. To go and say, I think the stat is like the fact that Barcelona thus far is yet to have ever beaten a team that finished in the top 8 of the a team that finished in the top 8 of the Champions League phase. I think it's pretty damning. I don't consider Inter made it to a Champions League final, and Inter have been like what I say by big team, like big team based. Like I would have put for example City up there, like big team over the last like 3, 4, 5 years. We'll go and say.
I'm sorry.
All right, this is gonna be interesting. Hold on, let me make sure I'm actually recording this because I may use this as sort of my reaction to the video. So let's go here. Let's see how many recordings there are. 1, 2. All right, that's good. Fix your audio, we hear you twice. That's why. There we go. Are things backed? Are things better now on? Are things better now on YouTube? You've beaten PSG 3-2, but then now you're going like that's what 2 years ago, 2 years ago, and not with I guess your current team. All right, I'm assuming that everything, guys. If given that there's been nothing said, I think everything is good in terms of the audio on TikTok and YouTube, and I guess every other platform. All right, let's go. Okay, so to basically just explain the concept of the video, this is 1v1s. So basically what happens is every player or every fan comes with a player from their team from in a position, and another fan goes and they basically battle out 1v1. We try to determine who's the better player. And at the end of it, the other fans, who are sort of the judges, if you want to go and say, vote on who they think is the better player. Bueno? All right, let's go. I think I was in 2 of these. So obviously, I'll do a bit more analysis on like when I'm speaking, but I will also talk about the others. It's a 30-minute video. I'll speed it up to 1.5 because I can't stand just watching it normal now. All right, let's go.
I'm sorry, there's no comparison.
Okay, so
How instrumental was he in your Man United weak side last year?
he can't take it anymore. He can't deliver a Premier League title.
These fans are some of the best players past the present to the fan zone for a shootout. Let's go! This is Manchester United versus Liverpool.
All right, let's go.
I'm bringing the best number 10 in the league, Bruno Fernandes. Okay,
And I'm bringing the most all-rounded midfielder in the Premier League, 𝙀𝙀 𝙀𝙀.
Okay, chat, before any arguments have been made, who are we standing with? This season, it is Bruno or 𝙀𝙀 𝙀𝙀. I'm seeing Bruno easily. Bruno, Dominic, Sabo, Dominic, Bruno. It's Bruno as a Liverpool fan. Bruno, I'm gonna be honest. Bruno, free kick merchant, cardio merchant. That's crazy. Okay. Bruno. It's even for me. All right. All right, okay. I mean, let's see. I can't remember. Things this was recorded not all that long ago, but I can't remember what the arguments were. And honestly, I came into this open to both sides. But let's hear it. Let's hear them debate and let's hear them fight it out.
Let's play. Alright, begin. Bro, I can't lie to you. You please begin because I was just smiling at the fact that we have a conversation between 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 and Bruno. So I'll let you begin on this one.
I know, it's crazy. We've got one who's playing in the Champions League, one who's not. We're playing one Premier League winner, we're playing one who hasn't. Where else are the disparities come in? But I think obviously if we're doing, 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏's only been at Liverpool 2.5 seasons or so. So naturally I know it's not doing a longevity debate since Bruno's come in the league because I personally rate Bruno a lot. I think he's a quality player, good player who's not won a lot. And I think his lack of winning shouldn't be deemed a detriment to his all-round standing in the Premier League. And I think for that example, you believe 𝙎's better than Scholes, right?
Yeah, we'll stick to Bruno 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏. I like petty, but I respect it. So it's already 1-0 to me because you've had to deflect to players in the past. Another thing you've had to...
That's a fair point. Like, I thought going into this, I thought this was for this year. If you're saying all time, well, for Liverpool and United respectively, I mean, as good as 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 and Liverpool were last year, Bruno does have longevity, but the fact that he was going and having to, deflect and talk about it doesn't really bode all that well. He's being around the bush a bit. Did Bruno score today? And a corner. Like he got another assist from a corner. Well, let's see this. I didn't watch the game at all, so I don't know. Let's verify. Oh, they drew today. Bruno, he scored a goal, so scored off a pen. Not counted as an own goal, as in it hit off somebody. No, he just scored a normal goal because if it was a pen, it would have shown it. Was it a pen? It was a penalty. Never mind. Normally, if it's a pen missed, then they show like the penalty thing. But it's okay. Just a normal goal. All right, fair enough. Well, let me close this, and there we go.
To mention is your team's actual achievements rather than the individual player, which by the way, in your title winning side last season, you can argue 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 was the least important of the three midfielders between Gravenberch, McAllister and himself. Now, going on to this season, okay?
Dang.
Sorry, because you spoke about last season. I like that we threw that in. How was Bruno? How instrumental was he in your Man United league side last year?
Honestly, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. He's brought it back. He brought it back.
No, because you just spoke on last season. I just wanted
to
put
that
that in. Please, brother, go on to
Okay, what I like to say about 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 is give me freedom, give me fire, give me free kick or I retire. That's the only thing.
Oh, Firas. He had that in it. He's been waiting for that. Oh, wow. Hold on. Let me hear that again. In fairness, hold on. He's bringing up free kicks. That can go both ways.
He did. Anyways, yeah, I'll carry on. What I like to say about 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 is give me freedom, give me fire, give me free kick or I retire. That's the only thing. The only reason, realistically, why this guy's even brought to the table is because of his free kicks against City, Liverpool, and Bournemouth. Because all I see from Dominic 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 this season is his free kicks. What else have you got?
Tell us about Dominic 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑼𝙎𝙏. We had a lot of disrespect on his name. So tell us what he's good about.
You talk about being just an engine. I think an engine is a very important part of the game, especially a part of midfielder. A lot of the time, Dominic 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑼𝙎𝑏, yes, he doesn't stop running, but that's not the first thing about him. He scores important goals in important games. You wanted to touch on a lot in the Premier League. One thing you didn't touch about was the Champions League, and granted, because Bruno didn't qualify for the Champions League. You guys could have won Europa in a big final. You lost to Tottenham out of all teams. Then this season as well, 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑼𝙎𝑏's got 4 So at the top level against the best teams, he's performing. An assist against Real Madrid in a game we won 1-0 again. What trait as a midfielder does Bruno have better than 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑼𝙎𝑏?
Bruno Fernandes is a way better chance creator than Dominic 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑼𝙎𝑏. Bruno Fernandes is a much better final third player than Dominic 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑼𝑼𝑏. Bruno Fernandes is much better of a goal threat than Dominic 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑼𝑼𝑏. Bruno Fernandes can dictate a game much better than Dominic 𝙎𝙬𝘼𝑼𝑼𝑏. He's a controller of a football.
He blasts the ball, balloons the ball. How many times does he get dispossessed on his ball?
That's a very anyone that appreciates football.
I hear it, but he was quite.
Bro, your favorite midfielder's favorite midfielder is Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, okay. Let's pause. Firas. All right, you exaggerated a bit too much. You got a bit greedy. You were cooking. Not gonna lie, he was cooking it there. But your favorite midfielder is Bruno. Calma. Tranquilo. Anybody wanna chat? Who's winning thus far? Bruno or Sabo? Bruno, I think the points that he was making about chance creation, better goal threat, better chance creator, better playmaker, dictator of the game, I think I agree with him there. Bruno, Perez is a funny, if it's funny, not gonna lie. Bruno clears Szoboszlai. Clears. Okay. I'd say thus far, Perez is doing a better job of backing up Bruno. Physically, Szobo would eat Bruno, but anything in the final third, it's Bruno. Fair. Bruno for PFA. We'll see. All right, let's go back.
Kevin De Bruyne, one of the greatest midfielders to ever grace the Premier League, ranked Bruno Fernandes as his #1 midfielder at that time as well. Also, you want to speak about players playing out of position. Bruno Fernandes, by the way, registered his first assist in match week 8. Up until that point, this guy was playing DM. His first assist came against you at Anfield. I know you remember. You want to talk about remembering things. I know you remember that very, very well. Match week 8, that was cute. Match week 8, he got his first assist. Match week 8, he got his first assist. Okay, so you said to me, name things that Bruno Fernandes did. I just gave you about 4 or 5 different things.
Now it's time to vote. If you think 𝙀𝙬𝘼𝘾𝘼 and Szoboszlai won this argument, raise up a green paddle. If you think Perez won with Bruno Fernandes, raise up a red one. You know what?
Yeah, okay. I think we all agree. I think it was definitely for Perez there. I don't know why Dylan voted. I think it's just Dylan has an agenda against Bruno. I think that's all it is. Yo, Nuno Mendes was streaming COD. That's old news, buddy. That's old news. How's your camera quality that good? Well, I've got a good camera, and then a good light. And then you put the two together, you got a good camera. All right, let's go.
We have one anomaly. Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes has won this one-on-one. Arsenal versus PSG.
All right, this one. Okay, this is me. Okay. Honestly, I don't want to spoil anything because afterwards they'll go and vote. I think I cooked him. I cooked Dylan on this one. Completely cooked him. And the thing is, though, for this one, there was... I'll go and get it onto it when it actually comes to it. Because there's one thing that irked me from this debate and whatnot that Dylan did. That he was... Anyways, we'll go. But what do you guys think this is, guys? Arsenal, PSG. If you've seen it, don't spoil it. If you've seen it, don't spoil it. What do you think the 1v1 was? Doué versus Saka. I mean, lol. It's too easy. Yeah, Vitinha Rice. Vitinha Rice is correct. Doué. I don't. I mean, if it was Doué Saka this season, honestly, there's probably a debate there to be had. But it was Vitinha versus Declan Rice. Well, let's go.
Junior, who are you bringing to the table?
I am bringing Senor Victor Machado Ferreira, also known as Vitinha.
Dylan, who's for Arsenal?
I'm bringing Declan Rice to the table. My Ballon d'Or nominee.
Nobody.
Known as Vitinha.
Dylan, who's for Arsenal?
I'm bringing Declan Rice to the table. My Ballon d'Or nominee.
Nobody.
Honestly, no, I can't lie. Because listen, he is up there. He's in contention because of what Arsenal is going and doing.
We will start with Junior. Tell us about Vitinha.
Well, I mean, all I'll go and say, you're talking about Vitinha, the best midfielder in the world, 3rd in the Ballon d'Or rankings, in the UCL Team of the Year, FIFA Team of the Year, Champions League Team of the Year, Club Cup Team of the Year, every single Team of the Year, he was winning. Nations League winner. With no disrespect to Declan Rice, I think he's a very good guy. You know, he's very good guy. He's a good guy and whatnot. But you're going to look at the trophies as well. We saw them last year play against each other.
Pause. Hold on. I didn't realize that. Hold on. You guys couldn't see the video. My bad.
Nobody. We will start with Junior. Tell us about Vitinha.
Well, I mean, all I'll go and say, you're talking about Vitinha, the best midfielder in the world, 3rd in the Ballon d'Or rankings, in the UCL Team of the Year, FIFA Team of the Year, Champions League Team of the Year, Club Cup Team of the Year, every single Team of the Year, he was winning. Nations League winner. With no disrespect to Declan Rice, I think he's a very good guy. You know, he's very
good.
Honestly, no, being serious though, I actually do like Declan Rice. I think he's a pretty good, like, outside of the football and whatnot, he's a good lad and whatnot. That's what I meant by that. All right, I don't try to go and like, I didn't mean it disrespectfully and whatnot. I was just going and saying it's like you could be a good guy and whatnot, but doesn't necessarily mean I think I rate you football wise. Even though I do rate Declan Rice. But one thing I will say that I sound so weird, bro. I sound so weird. Sounds so weird. And I can't even go and say, oh, is this how you guys listen to me? Because I hear myself when I'm editing all the time. I need they just, they done to me a bit dirty with with the audio enhancements, the audio editing there. But anyways, let's move on.
He's a good guy and whatnot, but you're going to look at the trophies as well. We saw them last two play against each other. What happened? 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏. You're going to Vitinha just played better than You're going to look at
Why did I drop an 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 there? Why did I drop an 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏 there? I hold my hands up. That was unnecessary. That was unnecessary. Why would I drop an 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏? Oh, 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏, what a word, man. What a word.
We saw them last two play against each other. What happened? 𝙎𝙬𝘾𝘼𝙎𝙏. You're going to Vitinha just a better midfielder. You're going to look at this season. Both of them, despite Vitinha playing deeper, Vitinha this season has more GA than Declan Rice. You're going to look at the Champions League, he's better in the Champions League. In terms of duels, progressive carries, progressive passes, forward passes, percentage, every single stat, he is better than your kind sir.
Rice's set piece ability can't be underlooked.
Oh, set piece FC. Well, I could take set pieces because this set piece giving. The thing is though, so guys, just for reference, after I said all of those things, maybe they kept it in here, but I think they might have cut it out. This guy's like, oh, I don't care about any of your stats and whatnot. And then this guy's like, I literally listed progressive carries, progressive passes, number of passes, like he's in the higher percentile on every single one of them. And he's just going and saying, oh, I don't care about your stats. You can bring me all your stats. I don't care about them. And he's going to talk about me getting, corners. Please be serious.
Has more GA than Declan Rice. You're going to look at the Champions League, he's better in the Champions League. In terms of duels, progressive carries, progressive passes, forward passes, percentage, every single stat, he is better than your kind sir, Declan Rice.
Rice's set piece ability can't be underlooked because you can pull faces all you want, but the key to Arsenal and the way we play football is set pieces. It's one of the main ways we go about winning games. It's one of Arsenal's strongest tactics that we lean on, and Declan Rice is pivotal to that. He's
a very strong
shown
tactic.
He can take free kicks from a shooting range, and he's also shown he can whip free kicks into the box. Many occasions against Liverpool last season, he assisted Mourinho's goal with a brilliant delivery. I'd say Vitinha is maybe more technical, but Rice's actual ball carrying I put ahead of Vitinha's.
So explain to me, why does Vitinha have more progressive carries this year?
I'm not looking at your stats.
You see, that's the problem. That's the problem. So he literally just said that he thinks that Declan Rice is a better ball carrier than him. And I just go and you look at it. You go on 𝙬𝙬𝘾𝘼𝘎𝘏 and whatnot. That was my reference at that point on Opta. You go and you look at Vitinha has more progressive carries. He's in the higher percentile of midfielders for progressive carries. He's like, I don't care about your stats. What? Oh, like I'll play it again. You know what? I'll play it at normal speed. So you guys can really hear it.
Vitinha is maybe more technical, but Rice's actual ball carrying I put ahead of Vitinha's.
So explain to me, why does Vitinha have more progressive carries this year?
I'm not looking at your stats. Where
Vitinha is in a higher percentile.
Any next footballer
in the Champions League, he's got more.
I've literally just went and gave him the argument in saying that if you go and you look at it, he's got more progressive carries. But your get this fugazi nonsense out of here, bro. Get this disgusting nonsense out of here. This could be an argument, but this guy's honestly, I agree. I don't think that Dylan gave don't get me wrong. Like, again, I mean this respectfully. Dylan's a good guy. I spoke to him afterwards. He's a good guy and whatnot. But I don't think that he gave the best rendition for a Declan Rice defense here today, on the day.
Rice playing against the best at the higher level on a weekly basis twice a week. I don't care about Vitinha's stats against XYZ and the numbers. Declan Rice is a ball carrier. He's pivotal to the way we play because of his ability to take set pieces. He chips in with goals as well, like Vitinha does, and that's one of the things I've had to give Vitinha a lot of credit for because his goal threat he's a serious goal threat. He's a great striker of the ball from distance. But I think, like I said, Declan Rice has been almost given this label as a set piece taker at Arsenal because that's the way we play, and that's just credit to him and how pivotal he is to the way we play and how we win games and how we're top of every single competition we're playing in this season. But I think even at West Ham, he proved there was more to.
Okay, but then basically, listen, chat. Am I being disingenuous here in saying that the only argument that I've heard here is Declan Rice is better than Vitinha because Declan Rice is better from set pieces? That's it. On the point on the progressive carries, I literally got him on a gotcha. Vitinha is in a higher percentile in terms of progressive carries as a midfielder than Declan Rice this season. In fact, let me try to go and see if I can find it specifically. Midfielders, Vitinha, 25-26, and then Declan Rice. Yeah, okay, here we go. So here's data MB, which goes and looks at here the percentiles for each, right? This is as a percentile. In fairness, Declan Rice here is in pink, Vitinha is in blue. Carrying, Vitinha is above him. He's in a higher percentile. Quite literally. Like, quite literally here. If you want to go and say in terms of the duels, fine. Quite literally, you just go like he's got a higher in terms of carrying. The thing is, there are other points you can make. You can say in terms of key passes, fine. But in terms of forward passes, Vitinha's got more forward passes, percentage rate and whatnot. Like, there are points you can make for Declan Rice here. All right, let's go back to the video.
To his game. It's only at Arsenal we're seeing this side of Rice as well. Like, this is why he's in conversations for Ballon d'Ors, PFA Player of the Year. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with a player here who's at the top of his game. And I think Vitinha as well. There's not really much between them. But for me, I'd have to put Rice over him. I think Rice is more pivotal to Arsenal than Vitinha is to PSG.
Would you go and you say that you think that Declan Rice had a better Champions League campaign than Vitinha last season?
No, Vitinha
As in, I think, well, even you just aside from that, I think a lot of people would go and say that they felt that Pedri got snubbed by Declan Rice in making that.
Pedri snubbed by Rice for what?
In making it into the Champions League team of the season. For example, Declan Rice was there. A lot of people said that he shouldn't be there. One of the big, as in, listen, you go and you take. If he didn't score those,
it's easy as a fan of another club to go. He scored 2 free kicks.
If he doesn't score those 2 free kicks, he's not there.
But he does.
You know what, guys, it's now time to vote. If you want to vote for Rice, put up the green paddle. On this side, we have got Vitinha. Put up the red paddle. Do it now for Vitinha.
Plays in Liga, by the way.
Vamos Viti. Vamos Viti. Vamos, Senor Viti. Professor Viti. Vamos.
Manchester City.
There we go. I mean, clean sweep. The thing is, though, he didn't really put much of a fight in there. Like, basically the only point that he had there, he tried to say in terms of the carries, Vitinha's got more carries than him. And the only other point was basically Declan Rice takes set pieces. All right, fair. Touche. And what else? There's a lot more to being a midfielder than taking set pieces. And again, this is not saying that Declan Rice is a bad player. I just also think like, I thought that I was gonna have a bit more, work to do, to prove my Vitinha. But hey, you know what? I want it. I'll take it. But here we have Manchester City and Spurs. I'm not sure who it was between Brads and Ed. We'll see.
Versus Tottenham. Brads, who are you bringing?
The one, the only, Erling Braut Haaland.
Erling Braut Haaland. Ed, who are you bringing to the side of Tottenham?
I am bringing MBE Harold Edward Kane. That is my guy.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with Kane.
There you go.
Let's start with Kane. Okay, so Kane, 3 Premier League Golden Boots, 1 World Cup Golden Boot. Cute.
Yeah, very cute.
Cute. Okay, I'm guessing it's cute. So, Harry Kane. Let me talk to you about Harry Kane. Okay, so as much as I'm a Tottenham fan, I love Tottenham. Okay, the team that was around him was a horror team. Okay, I can go through and list a whole squad, and you'll sit there and go, "Who are them?" Okay, honestly, it's a terrible team around him. Okay?
But wait, he says terrible, but aren't your 2 players, Harry Kane and Son, combined for the most G8 in the Premier League as a duo?
I think most people knew when I was saying that I wasn't including Son, but yeah, I'll make a point. I'm not including Son in that, of course. Yes, Harry Kane and Son are
not Dele Alli, no.
Because hold on.
We'll let him cook it, but there's a lot of players in that team we do know about.
There were, but that was only for about the first 3 years of Harry Kane playing in that team. The rest of it, once all of them lot had either fallen off or left, okay, we're talking about 5 years worth, was not a good team around him, okay, so build up. So in that time, what did he do? He became Tottenham Hotspur's greatest ever goal scorer. He became England's top goal scorer. Okay, if plus and maybes, if he stayed in the Premier League, would he become the top goal scorer in the Premier League history? Yes, he would. I think, again, people know that. He won 3 Golden Boots. Again, you got to look at the players around him that are playing as well in their teams. They couldn't beat him to Golden Boots. Whereas Haaland, we're talking about Haaland that came into a Man City team to replace Aguero that had won Centurions, that the team around him won a treble. Do you think Tottenham Hotspur ever won a treble? No way.
The treble was because of him, by the way.
He helped, but that wasn't because of him. You also had Ballon d'Or winner Rodri in there as well. So it wasn't really just because of him. He didn't even win the Ballon d'Or.
So you brought up the Golden Boots, yeah?
Yes.
He had 3 in how many years?
In the Premier League.
How many years was Kane in the Premier League, guys?
Maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9?
8 or 9 years. So you're telling me almost a decade he won 3 Golden Boots.
Yeah.
What about
First season, Haaland, Golden Boot. Second season, Haaland, Golden Boot. Third season, missed out by 2 or 3 goals.
So no Golden Boot.
Fourth season, he's about to get his 3rd Golden Boot in 4 years at the club. Yeah. Now, you didn't mention trophies. I wonder why.
Oh yeah, okay, you're gonna mention trophies.
Haaland came in and he said that he wasn't the main part to win the treble. Listen, he came in. We needed a goal scorer, a goal threat. We had KDB playing the false 9.
And you won the league that season with that.
We couldn't get over the line for that Champions League, that beloved Champions League that we wanted. Erling Haaland came in first season. Yeah, he helped us win the Champions League, the Super Cup, the Club World Cup, the FA Cup, and the 5 trophies. 5 trophies. Yeah, we got 5 trophies in 1 season because of that man. Not just that. Harry Kane, how many goals does he have in the Premier League?
214, I want to say.
213.
213.
Haaland's got. In how many games as well? He's played over 300.
I'm not that much of a nerd, bro.
Yeah, I am. So yeah, 320 games, I believe.
Sounds right.
Spot on.
Flex, bro. That's a flex.
That's beautiful.
Haaland has got 100 goals in 100
dang. Sorry for interrupting another debate, but thank you for representing us properly. If we talk PSG versus Arsenal, then Pacho versus Gabriel should be the next debate. We'd like to hear your opinion. Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you for the super chat. I think this is Czech. I'm not sure what exactly the name of the currency is, but thank you very much, Peter. I really appreciate that. I mean, if I'd love to be able to go and debate a hypothetical, Gabriel versus Pacho. I mean, excellent. It'd be certainly a lot more difficult to go and debate, but I think there's points that I can go and make. Obviously, the seasons are still pending and whatnot, but I'd love to be able to go and do that. Fan zone. Yeah, you got it. That's a debate. That's a debate. That's what the people want.
In 11 games in the Premier League. So he's got half of that in less than half of that games that he's played as well than Harry Kane. It's insane. It's not even comparable. We're seeing a freak of nature versus a very elite striker. Yeah. And you also brought up the World Cup thing. I mean, not World Cup, but internationals. He plays for England. Haaland plays for Norway. Yeah. There's a campaign recently as well. Haaland scored 17 goals to drag Norway to their first World Cup since 1998. His dad was playing in. That's the last time they were in the World Cup. So I'm sorry. There's no comparison.
Okay. So who did you guys try and sign before you went to Haaland?
Oh, Harry Kane.
Oh,
okay, so he was your first choice.
that is a good point. That is a good point. Touche, Eds. Honestly, not gonna lie. Before then, Braz was kind of cooking you. But with that point, Bilek, ça fait mal. Ça fait très mal. Très, très mal. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Tell me if Tottenham had lost Harry Kane that season when you guys tried signing but failed, and let's say we signed Haaland. Do you think Haaland is getting anywhere near them numbers in our team than he is in your team with players like Bernardo Silva, Philip Foden, all these players that come in now, 𝙬𝙬, Dorku, all these players, they're so much better. And listen, I love the badge, okay? But they're so much better than what we had. And Harry Kane, if he was in your Man City team, would achieve
Are you telling me
exactly
you
what
didn't
you just said.
have elite creators in your team throughout the years?
In that midfield? At the start, yes. 3
From
years.
Dele Alli to Eriksen to all of these players.
Dele Alli was done by 2019. 2019, Dele Alli was gone.
But still, was he not an elite player when he first came?
That's
what I'm saying. You've had elite players over the years.
Harry Kane scored more than 30 goals in them teams. So now what I'm saying is you take Harry Kane, put him in the same similar team as what you've got, Man City, and he carries on getting the 30 plus goals. He never went a season without scoring, I think, about 25 plus goals in all some competitions. And you want to look at him right now. Now he's in his 30s as well. Look at what he's doing. I mean, if Bayern Munich win the Champions League and England have a good run in the World Cup, he can win a Ballon d'Or. I mean, this guy is insane right now. And the older he gets, he just looks like he's getting better and better.
Haaland could also win a Ballon d'Or this season as well. Let's not count us out.
True.
Yeah, he should have won one a few years ago as well.
True. Touche.
In Haaland's position, Harry Kane does more. Not only if we're talking about scoring goals, I'm not just talking specifically numbers, but oh my God, this guy has Kevin De Bruyne pass like. He is so good in the midfield.
Card, right?
No. I tell you, you go and watch highlights of Harry Kane's passing, his assists. You will know what
Hold on, did I give him an assist?
As well.
He could have but right now, and the older he gets, he just looks like he's getting better and better.
Haaland could also win a Ballon d'Or this season as well. Let's not count us out.
Won one a few years ago.
Yeah, he should have won one a few years ago as well.
But what I'm saying is, if you put Harry Kane in Haaland's position, Harry Kane does more. Not only if we're talking about scoring goals, I'm not just talking specifically numbers, but
No. I was just saying, I think I was going and telling him this because of he can do more. He's a better footballer all around.
God, this guy has Kevin De Bruyne pass like. He is so good in the midfield. No. I tell you, you go and watch highlights of Harry Kane's passing, his assists. You will know what I mean. He is unbelievable. You would think he is a world-class midfielder, and he's not. He's a striker. His job is to score the goals. We always said at Tottenham, if Harry Kane could pass to Harry Kane, we would win 10 league titles. He is that good. He is so good. We used to say that.
I am reading chat, yes.
We have to take in context about the teams. Yeah, how Spurs.
I'll look at your hot take after.
The Premier League.
Man City.
Yeah, they have more leeway. They have more leeway. Yeah, they have more grass to cover. They have more space in behind. When you play at Man City, yeah, these guys, you're playing 19 out of the 20 teams, you're playing low blocks. Yeah, Haaland gets past that. He was known for running in behind, but he can also win aerial duels. He can win these bouts. He's more physical than Harry Kane. He's also creating. Obviously, Harry Kane's completely gone with creating. Yeah. But Haaland's added that to his game now. So not just that, he's only 25 years old, guys. You know what I mean? He's got so much more to learn, and he's already done this much. He's already achieved this much.
It's time to vote. Let's do it now.
This guy.
That's honesty.
He's different. Yeah, that's fine. There you go.
Okay, all right. Let's come to a decision. Erling Haaland has won. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Dylan.
So I ended up voting for Harry Kane. The thing is, though, it depends. I think the thing for me is I think Harry Kane is, because they did ask us. Did they ask us? What was the reason? What was the rationale for why you voted? In whatever particular way you voted. But what the heck is this? Repeal. Submit. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, I think Harry Kane is the better overall player. You can go and say, I think definitely Haaland has the potential to go and beat him, but thus far, I'd still go and say that. I think the fact that Harry Kane is able to go and do so more, and also the fact that it's a bit unfair to Haaland because it's like, well, it's not his fault that Harry Kane was playing at Spurs. But I think that there's no way that Haaland is able to go and do what he was doing for what Harry. He's not gonna. Let me start here. There's no way Haaland would be able to replicate what Harry Kane did at Spurs if he was at Spurs instead of Harry Kane. Whereas I do think that there's a much likelier probability that Harry Kane could replicate what Haaland has done at City thus far because the City's just a better team. That makes sense. But it's close. Yeah, but I agree. It's close. It's close, JB. It's close.
Who you bring to the table?
Bukayo Saka.
Firaz.
I'm bringing Brian and Mbeumo.
Tell me about Saka.
Saka's never played up front, so we'll compare them both as wingers. And I think as a winger, I'd definitely much rather have Saka in my team. I just think he gives you everything you need in a winger. I think he's lacked a bit on the goal front this season, but he's proved in the past that he can definitely score goals for England and for Arsenal. At the top level for England, scored goals at the World Cup for England, scored goals at the Euros for England. I just think over a longer standpoint as well, and Mbeumo's kind of become a thing the last 2-3 years. Saka's been here since he was, 18, 19 years old. I think from a wing standpoint, I think Saka has to take this one, to be honest.
Firaz, tell me about Mbeumo.
I'll start off with Saka, and I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart. I think he's one of the most overrated wingers to play in the Premier League. That is purely based upon the quality of wingers that we've been involved in the Premier League recently. And you want to say how Brian Mbeumo, you see him as a striker. Brian Mbeumo has only started playing striker under Michael Carrick, which is, by the way, 5 games. Brian Mbeumo for Brentford played as a winger. Brian Mbeumo under Ruben Amorim played also out wide as well. You want to talk about 13, 14 Premier League. Bukayo Saka is glorified left-footed Antonio Valencia. He's got no back.
He said that a lot on the day. He said that a lot on the shoot. That is crazy to say. Let me go back. Wow. Listen, I actually like Saka, and I think Arsenal fans especially do overrate him, but this is crazy. This is a bit too far. I do not concur with what he said. Listen to what he said carefully.
Talk about Bukayo Saka's goal output. Bukayo Saka before the Wolves game hadn't scored in, I think, 13 or 14 Premier League games. Bukayo Saka is a glorified left-footed Antonio Valencia. He's got no back to his game. Bro, all I see Bukayo Saka... I'm being...
Wow. Wow.
I'm genuinely being serious. When I watch Bukayo Saka and I remember Antonio Valencia, I remember they used to do the thing where they just look at the defender, they wait to see which way they're going. And most of the time, Bukayo Saka loves to go down the line, not because he can't go on his left, but because he wants to win that corner that he wants to deliver. That's the only thing. Antonio Valencia.
He's a corner merchant.
Forget about Antonio. Let's talk about Brian Mbeumo. Before the Wolves game, I think Bukayo Saka hadn't scored. Is it 13 or 14?
Jonah, big up Firaz. Big up Firaz. What a legend. Nah, that's crazy. He's a left-footed Antonio Valencia. Dang. That's a bit too far.
Premier League games before that. He's a failed left back as well. Just the same. If you want to talk about failed left, Patrick Dorgu. I think that would have been a better comparison. Patrick Dorgu is arguably having a better season than Bukayo Saka. They've had to bring in Noni Madueke because Bukayo Saka's hamstring is hanging on by a thread. He can't take it anymore. He can't deliver a Premier League title. He's meant to be the maverick for your team. He can't deliver in the big games this season. Brian Mbeumo has scored to Spurs away, Spurs at home. He scored against Man City. He scores against Liverpool away. Who else has he scored? He scored against your team actually at the Emirates as well. So Brian Mbeumo is a very, very big player. And I'm not saying they're very similar players, but in terms of
no response.
For example, he can drop a 2 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10. But Mbeumo, I call him Mr. Efficiency. He will leave a game with a goal assist regardless. Bukayo Saka, you can't argue the same. He's a very one-trick pony.
The goals output argument, like I've said already, this is definitely not the best time to be debating Saka. He's not having the best of seasons. He's coming back from a long-term injury. He actually did have a great patch of form before the Christmas period where he was single-handedly pulling results out of the bag for Arsenal. And Mbeumo's done the same. But I just think, again, over a longer period of time, he has proven, whether you like it or not, and people want to run the jokes about his assist record. I think he's a GA record, and you know what I'm saying, how much he's really offering. I just don't see it in that way. I think you said Mbeumo always comes out of games with a goal. I don't know, what did you call him? You called him the
Mr. Efficiency.
Mr. Efficiency. Saka doesn't need to leave a game with a goal or an assist to prove that he played well, pulled the opponent apart. We play as a team. It's very team based. The goals are widely spread across our team. When you're Manchester United and top four is all you've got to worry about, actually worrying about how the team's doing becomes a lot less of a concern or an interest, and you start to
Mr. Efficiency, what a name.
So you're going to naturally be a lot more fixated on how Mbeumo's doing against Saka.
Because that is the argument.
One player's got his team top of the league, and the other player's team.
Saka's not got his team.
Boys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you a final point. We'll give you a final point. We'll go to a vote.
I think especially in recent times, Brian Mbeumo is definitely the better player. Brian Mbeumo is the more decisive player.
He's having a better season.
He's having a better season. Exactly. Thank you. That's the point. Bukayo Saka, I'd say probably not even top 5 of the most important players right now for Arsenal in terms of why they're top of the league. I can name about 5 more Arsenal players that'd be more important.
Name them.
Okay, cool. I'll go Timber, Gabriel, Raya, Saliba. Yeah, Timber has been more important than Saka this season.
Who's the last one?
Declan Rice, Zubimendi. That's 5-3 right there. Zubimendi's been more important than Saka this season, 100%.
I'll watch every game.
Are you done with your point about Dylan?
My final point on Saka is look, Mbeumo's having a better season, but Saka is definitely a better footballer. He's cutting the only reason these conversations are even allowed to happen on film are because Saka's still recovering from a big injury. Let's have it right. A hamstring tear of the level that he had with the amount of time he was out. Takes a lot to recover for, and he came back straight away. And even then, since then, he's still been monitoring that injury.
Off the back of that, let's vote. If you think Bukayo Saka won this argument, put up a red panel. But if you think Bryan Mbeumo won, put up a green one.
Green. How is this close? How is this close? How is this close? Like if the point was generally the notes that they gave us were that you should vote based on who makes the actual stronger argument, not necessarily who you think is the better player. I think at some points, initially for the first couple, I think that's what people were doing. But afterwards, just I'm pushing whatever agenda. But on this one, like I'm sorry, Dylan did not really do that good of a job to go and defend Saka here. Like he even admitted at the end there that, yeah, I know Mbeumo's having a better season than Saka. Like that's friendly fire. Like, are you okay? I think here this one, I think Ferraz like mopped the floor with them. I was like, look at my face here. Look at my face here. I'm shocked that they're going and saying it's Saka. I don't think they went and elaborated on why they voted which way and whatnot. I found this crazy, bro. How this was a tie.
I think people just don't like Arsenal. I mean,
by the way, it's 2-2. Comment down below and decide who wins this one.
That's crazy, bro. All right, here we go again. I'm up again. All right, guys, which one do you think this one is? Liverpool versus PSG. What do you think I'm here for this time? I'll guess. I'll go and say I don't think you guys got it correct. Whoever you guys think, it's not them. Whoever you think it is, it's not them. Salah Dembele, nope. Barcola, somebody, nope. Pacho Van Dijk, don't be silly, Junior. This season, Pacho's been better, but nope. Enrique Slot, is that really a debate? Nope. Due Rio, not a debate, nope, but that's a try. Vitinha, no. That would be if you went to, like, I don't know, Vitinha Szoboszlai. I mean, I think it's a wash, but it's closer. Neves Gravenberch, that would be interesting. Keepers, no. But you'll see.
PSG, but this time it will be a 2v2. Junior, who you bring to the table?
I am bringing Nuno Mendes and Achraf Hakimi.
A full-back debate. KM, who are you bringing to the table?
Prime Trent, Alexander-Arnold, and Prime Andy Robertson.
KM, take it away.
What I'm going to start off doing is by setting the scene for you guys, because it's been a few years.
Storytelling, come on,
It's been a few years since you've seen, and obviously people like the new and shiny things, and a lot of PSG we've spoken about, love a new toy. A lot of things people spoke about is recent history. So please don't be swayed by a great 1.5 seasons. Let's please remember, in the Premier League as well, we've got context to that, and also the Champions League, because he may flex their Champions League. I want you to know everything Hakimi and Nuno Mendes has done, Trent and Robo did it 5 years before.
Yep.
And they did it for a longer period of time. We're talking about a right back and left back who transcended the game in the Premier League, had 12 assists, 11 assists as a pairing in the same year. It was an off-season, another off-season. You talk about two who were instrumental to their team and also the way they play. A lot with Hakimi and Mendes as well, especially. You have to look at the team, the controllers they have. They did this with Jordan Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum in the midfield. A Liverpool team that was very high-flying. A lot of this Hakimi and Nuno Mendes especially has been in the last year or so when they lost the lack of Mbappe, obviously Neymar, who didn't track back as much. Yep. We're talking about a Liverpool team which is very high flying, wingers pinned, where on the right hand side Salah didn't actually track back as much, and Trent, you saw how instrumental he was going forward. I think some of the points you'll touch on is Trent defensively. Yes, Trent defensively, I can concede Hakimi's a better right back than Trent is defensively, but looking at that takes away how prolific he was going forward and how much of a game changer he is. Trent Alexander-Arnold, the best passer of the ball I've seen from that position, and was rivaling passing at all in the Premier League and in the world. Again, those two fullbacks that may tack on slightly defensive liabilities were, again, part of the Liverpool team that 99 points, 97 points, won a Champions League, won 26 games, won 103 points out of 105, had 21 clean sheets in the season. That's still the same centre-back pairing. So maybe you'll talk about, yes, Trent defensively, but I've shown you the accolades again. FIFA All Team Pro of the seasons, PFA Teams of the Year. I don't know what more accolades, especially from a defensive standpoint, that you want to do. And again, we're doing this over a 2, 3, 4 year period. Yeah. So with that, my point, I think Nuno Mendes, Hakimi, great. But overall, with Robbo and Trent, with the output they've gotten, with the game-changing mindset, with the trophies, the accolades they've done it, and the longevity aspect, which has to be taken account, for me, easily, and in a harder league as well, which again is important, easily
Easily. Easily.
Tell us about it, Junior.
I mean, the fact that we're having to go and do this as a duo, I think is already telling that if you go and you split them up individually, I think it's pretty clear that each matchup of the fullbacks and the right backs, that is a pre-wash for both of them. I think off of his face, it's fair to say that both Nuno Mendes and Achraf Hakimi, compared to the two, are better defensively. And even going forwards, for example, with Trent, I'll go and give you the assists, the numbers they got was generational. However, Achraf Hakimi last season, for example, dropped the most GA, not of a fullback, no, of a defender in the history of European football. 7 assists. That is, wingers would be proud of those statistics. When you look at it, as players, let's go attribute for attribute. Defensively, as we've already said, both Nuno Mendes and Hakimi are better. Offensively, even if you go and look at Hakimi last year, I think it was only 3 assists off Norman Trent's best ever season. So less. Okay. But then let's look at the goals then. Overall, he's going more goal contributions. You're talking about Liverpool, they're bombing forwards and whatnot. You saw it firsthand. PSG, what do you think PSG are sitting back? PSG's with Nuno Mendes and Hakimi are the most high flying left backs. There are times. How many times do we haven't seen literally have Nuno Mendes passing the ball to Hakimi for him to finish in the Champions League? We do that. You look at line splitting passes in behind, runs, progressive carries, all those aspects. You saw it firsthand. The goal that PSG scored at Liverpool at Anfield comes from what? A Nuno Mendes pass to Ousmane Dembele, who then bombs forward. A run is made by Hakimi, and they go. So you go and you look at it. Overall, as players, I think they are better players and have a better peak. You want to go and even talk in terms of the longevity. If I'm not mistaken, I think Trent and Hakimi are roughly the same age. I'd go and say ever since Hakimi's been at Inter, I think he's been overall consistently the better left back. You go and you look at many times, personal accolades that they've been.
Right back. I misspoke. Honestly, guys, I will go and say that going on one of these, it's a lot harder than it seems, because I actually did research for this. I did, research, going and looking at things, building my case for my arguments, but having to try to remember these all from the top of your head. Obviously, like on TikTok, you're able to go and do so. But then also, it's just like there's cameras on you, and every time, even though I kind of do this if you want to go and say for a living and whatnot, like you still are conscious of like there's cameras and whatnot. There's pressure on you. I feel like I was trying to go through them a bit too quickly. He was speaking really fast, and I didn't give my points as concisely and as clearly as I probably could have. Like if I were to restate my argument here today, I feel like it'd be a lot more clear, concise, and to the point. But I think I did all right. I did okay at giving my point here.
Season T pros, all of them are better ranked by players in terms of their own peers are higher ranked by by Hakimi and
I think the point I'm making there is that if you go and you look at it, even though for as good as Trent and Andy Robertson were, for example, when you look at their accolades, like Team of the Years, Ballon d'Or nominations, UEFA Club of the Years, all those things. Last year, Nuno Mendes and Hakimi were on every single one of them. Whereas Andy Robertson and Trent, as good as their seasons were, oftentimes they weren't necessarily making it into those teams necessarily, like as a foregone conclusions, which just goes to show you that even relative to their other peers, their peers don't think that they were nearly as good. So, I don't know.
Mendes. And even if you go and you look at it, forget, who's the better left back, right back, so on and so forth. Hakimi and Nuno Mendes individually are not only in the conversation for being, some of the best left backs of our time. Both Nuno Mendes and Hakimi right now are in conversations to be top 5, top 3 of all time already at this young age. Nuno Mendes arguably has the qualities to, in a couple seasons, to be the best left back to ever play the game. And Hakimi's already up there, you could argue right now. What attribute do each individually have over any of them?
You know what that means? It's now time to vote. That right there.
Oh, look at this, bro. Honestly, the thing I would have really wanted you guys to know is, and this is why I forget what they say. It was the reason and the rationale behind all of this. Like, listen, I understand maybe that they feel like overall as a pairing and whatnot. Because the thing is, though, they conceded afterwards that individually both of them, like Nuno is better than Trent. I mean, Hakimi is better than Trent, and that Nuno is better than Henderson. Than Robertson. However, no, all of a sudden you put them together, now that they're worse. Yeah, but as a duo, as a duo. But so then what? I agree the thing, if you want to go and say that they're greater than some of their parts, but then I can go and say, look at the amount of times that like Nuno and Hakimi have assisted each other. Like if you can, it's like, what would be a good example? It'd be like going and saying, let's say, for example, that you think that individually the midfield of Barcelona with Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta, each individual player is better than the midfield of Casemiro, Toni Kroos, and Modric individually. However, you think as a whole, you think the Barcelona, it's like, wait, hold on. Like, obviously, I understand sometimes you're greater than the sum of your parts and whatnot, but then that comes to, like what the team did. But the PSG team, for example, reached higher peaks than Liverpool did, right? Winning the sextuple and all those things. There were higher peaks that Nuno Mendes and Hakimi reached. And even if you want to talk about, for example, what Nuno did in the Nations League and all those things. One good season from Nuno. Nuno Mendes and Hakimi have been for the last 2-3 years the best left back and right backs in world football. Hakimi's been good since 2021 when he was at Inter. Hakimi, hold on. If I'm not mistaken, Hakimi made it into the FIFA Pro Team of the Year in 2021. Was it 2021? Images. Was it here? Was it 2022? I think it was 2022. That he was when he was at Inter. Yeah, there he is. Let me find an actual good graphic of it. This is the 2022 FIFA Pro Team of the Year. Hakimi's there. Hakimi's been consistently in the conversations. They never had a world class before last season. So then how is he getting... How are you good enough to get into like FIFA Pro Teams of the Year if you're not having world class seasons? Like Hakimi's single season at Inter Milan, I'd say that was definitely world class as a wing back. Junior, Nuno and Hakimi are not all timers right now. Name me. Okay, so what exactly are you considering all time? What are you considering as being an all timer? Like, how high do you have to be in there? Top 5, top 10? Can't believe this is even a debate. Top 5. Okay, so who are the 5 better right backs all time than Hakimi? And if you want to say Hakimi, by the way, got Morocco to a semi-final, the first ever African team to go and do so. Is African Ballon d'Or winner, 2-time Champions League winner, sextuple winner, in 2 FIFA Pro Team of the Years, top 10 Ballon d'Or finisher. So name me the 5 right backs better than Hakimi all time. Honestly, even though I think Nuno probably has a higher ceiling, I think currently Hakimi's already in a higher ranking all time. So the 5 right backs better than Hakimi. I'll put Hakimi top 10, not top 5. Okay, so then who are the 5 better than him? What's up, Jimmy? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well, thank you. Play more. No, but Lam and Kyle Walker, but I mean, that's 2. But Kyle Walker is most definitely not a better right back than Hakimi. Alves, Carvajal, Lam, Cafu. Walker is not a better right back. Walker is not a better right back than Hakimi. I'll go for this one. I'll give you Alves. Definitely, I agree. I wasn't really watching Cafu like that, but okay, I'll give you him. Carvajal, no. I don't think Carvajal's all that. I think Carvajal is a beneficiator. Oh my God, I can't even speak, bro. Is a benefactor of the fact that he played for Real Madrid. I don't think he's all that good. He's a good right back. He's a very good right back. He's not one of the best right backs of all time. He's not one of the best right backs of all time. Like, name me Carvajal's generational world-class right back season. Like, Carvajal's in there because he won a lot. Like, you'd say, what, Carvajal's best season was what? The 2023-2024 season? But that's because he won. But he wasn't a better right back. But even if I go in and told you that, as a player, Hakimi is better than In what aspect? Maybe what defensively you'll go and say, and even then I'll go and say it's not like I think Carvajal's good defensively, but he's not Maldini. But okay, I'll give you Carvajal offensively. It's clearly Hakimi. Goal threat, progressive carries, assist, going forwards, all of those things. It's Hakimi. Carvajal 2023, 2024 was Hakimi's standard season. Fairs. Facts. You don't happen to be in a good team. There's a reason. No, it's not to go and say that. But like, for example, would you go and say that then all of a sudden that what like is Casemiro a top 5, midfielder of all time? Is he a top 10 midfielder of all time? Because if you go and you say, oh yes, Casemiro is a top 10 midfielder of all time. I'm not DM, midfielder. So Alves, Cafu, Lam. I mean, again, I didn't see Lam play as much, so I can't go and say, but I'll go and give it. That's 3. Top 10, yes, bro. Casemiro is, listen, respect. I like Casemiro. Like Casemiro, that's an example. I think Casemiro is excellent and whatnot, but like I think he's pulled up a lot because of how good Modric and Toni Kroos were. But he's not a top 10 midfielder of all time. What? Pirlo, Zidane, the 3 at Barca, Toni Kroos, Modric, Mesut Ozil, Verratti. Stop. No. And I'm missing all Platini's. No. He's not a top 10 midfielder all time. Casemiro only started getting reds after he left Madrid. Always been something shady about that club. No, I'm not saying, we're not saying that he's bad. We're just saying that he's not a top 10 midfielder of all time. And that's kind of the point, is that in a similar way that Casemiro gets propped up a lot because he, again, air quotes, happened to be on a good team. Obviously, you have to be a very good player to play for Real Madrid for so long and to dominate Europe like they did. But it doesn't mean that every single player on that Madrid team is an all-timer all of a sudden because they were there. Right? Like if I go and I give the lineup for the 08-09, like Yaya Toure, if I'm not mistaken, was at Barca during 08-09, right? Does that mean he's like a top 5 midfielder of all time? Easily. Like you go and say if you were going to put Yaya Toure in those conversations, it'd be more so because of what he did for City and as a continuation. But it's that sense that But J10, you legitimately think that Walker? The thing is, I'm not giving Walker is not a better right back than Hakimi. Stop this. Let's respect ourselves, guys. Let's respect ourselves. In no world is he a better right back than him. No way. The one thing he's got on him is what? Defensively, pace. Casemiro barely fits into the top 10 best midfielders of our generation, much less all time. Facts. You see the overlapped episode, buddy, you're late. Rewind the stream, and you'll see that entire thing play out. Hakimi is P2. Yeah, true, but if you want to over like Walker, like if you want to go and say Walker is quicker, okay, fine. I'm not gonna go and start debating you on that. Fine, he's quicker. Walker was a key factor why we were winning 4 in a row. Okay, fine, but does that mean he's what? He's a top 5 set right back of all time? I mean, look how quickly you guys got rid of him too. Even last season, you guys got rid of him midway through the season because, he wasn't all that anymore. Only a couple of years after him going and doing all that for you, winning 4 titles in a row. The very next season after you guys won your 4th title, you guys basically shipped him out in January. There's no way you're telling me Walker is a better right back than Hakimi. So I'm not giving you Walker. I'm not giving you Carvajal. So if you want to go and put Lam, you want to go put Cafu, you want to put Alves. Okay, I'm not going to go in debate because I didn't watch Cafu. I wasn't watching Lam like that. Okay, fine. Then that still puts him squarely top 5. Anywho, let's go back. Let's finish this video. And then I'm probably going to have to end the stream. We've been live for like nearly 3.5 hours.
It's 3 votes to Liverpool, 1 to PSG. Arsenal versus Tottenham. North London is in the building. Dylan, who are you bringing to the table for Arsenal?
Prime Alexis Sanchez.
Alexis Sanchez. Ed, who are you bringing for the side of Tottenham?
I'm bringing Prime Son Heung-Messi. Son Heung-min is coming to the table.
Son Heung-min versus Alexis.
Okay, this can be interesting.
Sanchez.
This can be interesting.
Seeing Alexis Sanchez at his peak, Son, I've never seen Son at those levels. And we're not just going to look at it from a numbers output because Alexis Sanchez had that magic in him as well, which this debate is almost similar to like Messi and Ronaldo. One of them is like magic, natural, like you're amazed, and then one of them is straight hard work machine. Look, Heung-min Son, no discredit to him whatsoever, brilliant player. I just think Alexis Sanchez at his peak, 2015 to 2017-ish, Son hasn't seen those levels from a footballing standpoint.
Heung-min Son? Oh, Ed
okay, I am shocked. Let me tell you a little story about Heung-min Son, okay? So I know it's a little thing about okay, so he came to Tottenham in 2015 and the first season he spent with
So the
you said you brought up Alexis Sanchez as being like a workhorse or something.
Didn't say that. No, I said Heung-min Son.
Or were you saying the other way around?
Sounds like a machine.
Okay, either way, right. So he joined Spurs in 2015, right? And the first year, he didn't do anything, man. He didn't like adapting to the culture. He didn't know the language, the football. He thought he was out of his depth. And he even said after his first year, he wanted to leave. But what did he do? He stayed dedicated. He worked hard and he became one of the greatest Premier League winners of all time. Okay.
Greatest what?
Premier League who? Oh, you said we already said winners. Winners.
We'll get that later.
Are you sure you said winners or winners?
We'll get that later. So Heung-min Son, what does he do? He wins the Golden Boot. Never saw Alexis Sanchez get anywhere near them type of numbers. What else does he do? He becomes half of the most lethal attacking duo the Premier League has ever seen in its history. Him and Kane. Okay? This man, again, alongside Kane, would carry teams. If there was one player on the pitch you knew was going to save you, it was Son. He was going to come out. Not only that, he had the highest conversion rate in Europe during his prime. The highest conversion rate in Europe.
Touche.
We used to see him. Asian player. One Asian player of the year every single year. He was so good, man. He could do it. He could do it.
Oh, even I'm doing it here.
Hey,
respect Asian players. Respect Asian players. Right? No to racism. No to guys, you guys stand with me. No to racism. No to racism. No racismo. No au racisme. No racismo. Okay? Respect Asian players. You can't be going and disrespecting things like that. Because if we came and we looked at, South American Player of the Year, you'd be fine with it. No racismo. No racismo. Collab with K9. I've gone. He's joined my streams once, and I've joined on his before. So maybe in the future. Maybe in the future.
Let's not beat around the bush.
Hey, respect. Ed.
Okay, not only that, North London derbies, he would show up every single game, man. In fact, he got one of the best goals in a North London derby. The guy was unplayable, man. You couldn't get near him. He was super quick, and his finishing was lethal. Not only that, but towards the end of his career, man, what did Sanchez do? He went off to United, completely flopped. Okay, disappeared. No one ever heard of him since. Son, at the end of his career, finally wins the trophy with Tottenham after 10 years. A fairy tale ending. He lifts the trophy in Bilbao. European trophy, something that Alexis Sanchez has no idea about. But he lifts the trophy and he leaves the club on the highest of highs. Okay, we've capitulated since then, but that doesn't matter. Heung-min Son is an unbelievable player, 20 times a player Alexis Sanchez ever wished to be.
Did he just call the Europa League the highest of highs?
He did. You wouldn't know anything about it.
Would winning the championship in England be the highest of highs of English? It wouldn't, would it? So yeah, so second division.
Yeah, you look
he hung in there for 8 years to finally drag a second string European
competition over
the line, which is
Did Sanchez even ever finish second with Arsenal? I think he probably did once.
That's fine. We're getting petty over here today.
That's fine. Heung-min Son was at Spurs. When did he join? Sorry,
2015,
and it took him until 2025 to finally drag over the line at a second string competition. Yeah. Alexis Sanchez came in first season, FA Cup win, scored a brilliant goal in the final. The year after that, scored a goal in a FA Cup final against Chelsea. Won another FA Cup final. Yep, won us 2 FA Cups. Alexis Sanchez scored in 2 finals as well. Heung-min Son obviously barely ever played in the final, but yeah, never scored one anyway.
Won it though.
Yeah, Alexis Sanchez won 2. Alexis Sanchez's peak, because we're talking about his time at Arsenal. We're looking at.
Hold on, we had this conversation afterwards. Flexing, I was just going to say, respect to the FA Cup, respect to the FA Cup, respect to the FA Cup. But because Dylan was literally coming out here and going and saying afterwards, off camera, saying that the FA Cup is a bigger trophy than the Europa League. No joke, no scam. I'm being dead ass. Dylan afterwards, off camera, was going and saying that the FA Cup is a bigger trophy and is a more impressive trophy than the Europa League. If I'm lying, I'm flying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Yeah, I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. KM can vouch for me. Brads can vouch for me. Ferez can vouch for me. He was going and saying that the FA Cup is a bigger trophy than the Europa League. And we tried to go and explain to him, hold on, because he's trying to go and say, oh, in the Europa League, you're playing second string, this, that, and the other. The funny thing is, the point I brought up is the fact that if you win the FA Cup, what do you get into? If you win the FA Cup normally and you didn't qualify, for example, for the Champions League, what competition do you get into? What competition do you get into? You get into the Europa League. So it's like going and saying, okay, if you win the Premier League or you finish top 3 or whatnot, you get into the Champions League. And henceforth, the Champions League is seen as the pinnacle competition, seen as the more prestigious competition. Likewise, then, winning the FA Cup gets you qualification into the Europa League. Therefore, the Europa League would be the more prestigious competition. But anyways, that's crazy that he said, still can't believe that he said that the FA Cup is a more prestigious trophy than the Europa League. Anyways, let's continue.
3-year span. Unfortunately for Son, he dragged himself through that absolute torture for about 8 years. So yeah, oh no, God, what would it have been 9 years?
10 years.
God, 10 years. Son was at Tottenham, right? So we're okay.
Loyalty,
so Sanchez,
loyalty.
so Alexis achieved more in 2 than Son did in 10. What he did. So anyway,
Where's the golden boot?
Where's the golden boot?
Yeah, where's the golden boot?
It's football.
He didn't win it. Oh, yeah, he didn't win it. Yeah,
we
got.
Hold on, yeah. This I don't know. Like Dylan, every single time we brought up an individual stat, it's but the team. We're comparing individual players here. Like that's kind of the point of it's 1v1s, not 11v11s. If this was it, we would have done Arsenal versus Spurs, and that's okay. That's a completely different conversation. I just watched this today. Shout out.
Player for player, mate. It's not a team thing, but player for player.
Right.
But you know what it is?
Sanchez in his peak, magical, but yeah. Look,
Sanchez in his peak is magical.
Son in his peak, golden boot winner, and just unbelievable prolific goal scorer.
I want to see what people voted.
Prime Alexis Sanchez is better than Son. Put up a red paddle. But if you think Son is better than Sanchez, put up a green one now.
Green.
Appreciate it. Finally.
I don't know what KM was thinking, bro.
Can I just confirm? They ever vote for Son?
No, thank you.
Ever vote for Son? Confirm. They ever vote for Son?
No, thank you.
Ever vote for Son?
I want to see some takes. Arsenal guys getting cooked. I mean, the thing is, I don't think he even just like from the Arsenal perspective, I thought he could have argued things a lot better, like a lot better.
For Son, yeah.
He didn't.
It's madness.
Tottenham have finally got one over Arsenal in a derby. This has been 1v1 Cool Lads. Drop a like, subscribe. We'll see you guys.
All right, make sure to go subscribe, guys, to Goal Fans, though, man. It's a pleasure going on. I did go on again. I won't go and spoil it again, but it was something slightly different this time around. And yeah, make sure you guys stay tuned. I want to have a look at the comments, though. I want to see what people are saying in the comments. Yeah, the first thing is here. The Arsenal guy's ball knowledge, clown. What do people say here? Of course, the guy with the Vitinha profile picture says that. It's true. W refresh poll, addicted to this channel content, not gonna lie. Yeah. How is Rice Vitinha debate? Okay, I want to see. Do you think people would agree with it? I want to see if people are saying like, how is it a debate like it's clear for Vitinha, or it's the other way around? Hold on. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so Vinny Jr. the GOAT is saying that Vitinha is a level above. Everything that Rice does, except for set pieces, Vitinha does better. Facts. It's definitely a debate. The things Rice does for Arsenal are simply unreal, but many people are biased against him because he's in Arsenal. Rick is a free kick merchant. True. More replies. Ooh, okay. I'm not trying to read this entire thread. That Arsenal fan has the personality of a toothpick. Yo, he's getting cooked here, Dylan. Can we get another Arsenal fan to represent the one's vibe was always so arrogant and stuck up? Yeah. Bro's the greatest stat denier every single time. I don't care about the numbers, bro. That is so true, though. That is so true. And the thing is, though, afterwards, we also recorded a video discussing the like giving where you basically come up and gave your hot take. And of course, this guy came out and said that, for example, he said that he believed that a fully fit Gabriel and Saliba would have conceded less goals than the prime, like the minimum that Chelsea got in 04-05, which is 15. And he came up with stats and, they played nearly 1/3 of the season, conceded this amount of goals as a per rate. And it's like, he was happy to use stats then, but before, when it was for Vitinha, no, I don't want to hear about stats. When it's that PSG is a bigger club than Arsenal, I don't care about your stats then. For real, bro, Peak Fighter is so much more entertaining when he's representing Arsenal. I'm sure you probably would have done a better job there. I get it. Numbers don't tell the whole stories, but numbers like Vitinha and the eye test to boot, you cannot ignore what he's doing. Agreed. That's the thing, yeah. Everyone comes with so much energy and jokes. He kills it every time. Right, he's getting cooked here. Absolute Cinema from DSK. Let's like this. Declan Rice scores 2 free kicks against Real Madrid, and now all of a sudden he's his free kick specialist. He hasn't scored a free kick since then. I think he means just like set pieces in general. Goals front three should participate in this. I want to see Jerome smoke them. I mean, I've spoken to Jerome before, but I love to go and do so. We're here for the rage bait on Ridge's takes, not the boring facts. I mean, there were facts in this one too. Where's the Barca guy? Coming soon. Interesting. I'm not gonna lie, there's nothing about me this time around. Yeah, I don't think there's a single thing about the PSG fan. I think maybe people were generally agreeing with my take then. If they're not talking about you, I'll go and say that if they're saying nothing bad about you, I think it's good. Oh! Nuno Mendes is not a better defender than Robertson. Mendes had 1.5 world-class season. Robertson has been the best left back for 3 or 4 years. He's not been the best left back for 3 or 4 years. There was that period, the latter years of Marcelo. You had Alphonso Davies was good in there. You had Theo Hernandez who was good in there. Robertson was not consensus the best. Like Nuno Mendes currently is the consensus best left back in the world, and there's like nobody close. There's nobody close. The 6th best left back is closer to the person in second than they are to Nuno Mendes. Like, let's stop making it seem as though Robertson is like so. Exactly, Nuno Mendes is much better defender. He's a freak athlete. The pace, the strength that he's got, he's pocketed the best players in the world and provides so much value attacking wise. He scores the assists. He defends perfectly. He's one of the most complete left backs I've seen in my life. Not to mention that his accolades at PSG and at Portugal, just because he's younger doesn't mean he's worse. Facts. Honestly, leaving a light for that. And I'll leave a comment for that. Talk your talk, man. Let me. No. Hold on. There we go. Delete. Oh. Talk. Oh my goodness. Talk that talk. Anywho, Rice because of set piece ability. Yeah, it's pretty bro, I don't want to see Dylan on this show again. Respect him, but yeah, rough for Dylan. Rough day for Dylan. Anywho, guys, well, we've been live for like 3.5 hours. It's been a pleasure. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these. Where I go, we do this. We sort of just react. We just talk about football more generally speaking. It's different to the live streams or the live watch alongs. Alphonso Davies on his day is better than Nuno Mendes. I mean, you're speaking to a Canadian here, so I'm not gonna give any Alphonso Davies slander. But I think peak for peak, I think Nuno's peak was higher than Fonzie's in 2020 because Fonzie was excellent. And in fact, they're very similar archetypes in terms of players. Very robust defensively, very pacey, very good very good offensively. But Nuno Mendes has the goal threat. Nuno Mendes I think, provides more in terms of assists. But Davies defensively has lapses, but so does Nuno Mendes though. So does Nuno Mendes. Joe Pesci will be all right after the international break. I just hope that, honestly, for Pesci, I just hope let's beat Nice tomorrow or today for me, and then we'll take it from there. And you guys, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this live stream, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. It's been a pleasure. 1 a.m. grind, true. You just joined at the very, very late end there. But thank you, CB. It was a pleasure being on your stream. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being on stream. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time, whenever next time is. It's been a pleasure. And remember, stay safe, stay kind, and stay blessed. Godspeed.
Whoop!